We have
Live.
a down.
We're live. We're here. Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Stream of Chaos. This is Chaosium's home for wonderful live plays and all kinds of cool things on Twitch. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for bearing with us while we dealt with some troublesome technical issues. But we've got through those, and we are here, and we are ready to jump into things. I am joined, as always, by some garish goons, some happy heroes, some lamentable layabouts. To my right over here, there is...
Hey, I'm Jackson. In this campaign of Berlin, the Wicked City, I'm playing Josef Fischer, a homeless veteran. When we last met, Josef has developed something of a trouble with... I can't read my own writing.
Oh, no.
Ablomania.
That's
he is
yeah.
pathologically indecisive.
Okay.
He thinks.
Hasn't quite made a call
He's
on
not
it yet.
No, yeah.
Over on my left.
Hi, my name is Rachel, and I am playing Percy Holmgren, who is a photographer. And last I remember, I was doing fine. Everyone else was kind of melting around me. So
yeah.
I mean, aside from the crazy visions that Percy keeps having, I think I'm going fine.
You were the only point of stability. Excellent. Yeah. Yes, and finally over here we have...
Hi, I'm David. I'm playing Elsie Mueller. I'm not technically insane. I'm just having a really, really bad night.
Yeah, I think you're...
Bad couple days, actually.
between losing a lot of money and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so we are playing Call of Cthulhu here. We are continuing our campaign of Berlin, the Wicked City, where we last left our players. They had returned to Elsie's ruined bookstore after being hot on the trail of the serial killer Karl Grossman, who hung himself a few days ago, but appears to still be active and operating within Berlin. The city streets are in a panic, and meanwhile, a significant public figure, possibly even the Princess of the Romanovs, has gone missing, and you have all been somewhat involved in her tracking down and briefly being found and now disappearance again. So, where we left things off last time, I told you in a little bit of a meta way that you have only a couple of hours to figure this all out. Now, of course, your characters have no idea about this, but for the sake of the narrative, we're going to say they have a mounting sense of dread and a gradual sense of, everything is wrong. You've got the hairs on the back of your neck pricked up. You're not feeling good. So we'll jump in from there and we'll get started. We will also be talking about a giveaway that we're going to be doing sometime soon at the end of the stream. So stick around for that. But in the meantime, it's the middle of the night. It's probably about 1:30 in the morning. Outside, Berlin is pitch black, only the occasional glowing yellow light indicating that you're in a city, a bustling city once, and not out in the middle of the countryside. But everyone is hiding. These busy streets that are often so full of sin and debauchery are completely deserted. The three of you were gathered around a table. None of you could sleep after the events of the day. So you're sort of putting things together now, trying to decide what your next move is going to be, and doing a little bit of research. Can I get you all to briefly describe, for those people who are just joining us, what your characters would look like here and what they're doing and how they're feeling? Who'd like to start?
Yeah. Josef Fischer is a kind of a gangly and worn-out creature of the streets. He sleeps under bridges. That's how he stays dry. It makes sense. He is missing most of his right leg, replaced with a large wooden stump, and missing all of his decisiveness. At this stage of the night, he can't quite sit down. He'll sit down for a few seconds and then get up and then go and make a cup of tea and then pour the tea out and make a cup of coffee and then leave that lying around. He's not having a good time.
It's not a good day. What about yourself?
Elsie is... her pants have been stained with mud from when we went sprinting through the gardens only hours ago, and then wet with the rain as we pelted back through the streets. She's now got a pile of different myths and folklore that she's poured through in an attempt to find any information about an ogre or whatever we think we may be up against. She has had very little luck, and she's not found much solace in it. And now she's looking out the window on the streets and wondering about what's going out there in the dark.
Now, specifically, last time you figured out that the ogre was basically a false lead. That word was not correct, although you did find some interesting information, specifically the woman that you have been looking for, known as Franziska Chavinovska or Stanovsky, depending on who you're asking, depending on what name she's going by, apparently opened the Berlin Zoo,
Yes.
quite close by. So, a little interesting point. What about yourself?
So, Percy is...
Well, that was a fantastic
so
thing.
loud.
And an incredibly loud and surprising thing, but it's a very good thing, so we're very happy to have it. Who was that?
It was, of course, Emperor Caesar.
Emperor
you so
Caesar.
much.
12th.
Oh my god.
Freaking loud as hell.
We need to turn off
I'll
your...
fix it.
I got it.
All right.
Well...
But speaking of which, Emperor Caesar,
thank you
your,
so much
your
for the sub.
August Majesty, thank
That
you
was
so
really
much.
scary.
You made us all jump, and we appreciate you greatly for it. Now, this isn't really a scene where we can introduce an NPC that would be Emperor Caesar, but for the sake of it, outside, someone is hurrying through the rain, desperately trying to get home and desperately trying not to get killed by whatever is out there. Anyway, you were saying.
Percy, he's tall. He's look, on a good day he's a little bit aimless and airheaded, but I think like tragedy has fallen and he's kind of just like he's got something to focus on. So I think so you're stressed, you're a mess. So I think what Percy is doing to like get rid of all this excess energy and help himself think is he's gonna start tidying all your stuff.
Thank God.
But like putting things in the wrong spot.
Well, it's better than them being on the floor. So you're you're getting a few pangs at the clear misuse of the Dewey Decimal System, but at least it's not on the ground. And
I recognize what is, I'm sure, an attempt to be nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure, let's go with
I'm
that.
taking it because otherwise I was getting thrown out.
All
yes,
right.
Yes.
So the night is drawing on. You're all in various states of health and sanity, and you sort of sat down and you're planning out your next move. What is it next that you're intending to do? You have this mounting sense of dread, it almost linked to the. Almost linked to the day, really. Literally, as the rest of the night, you feel safe, but you're almost dreading the rise of the sun. You know that thing when you're out at a party and you just don't want it to end. You're having such a good time. You keep looking at the clock. It's a little bit like that, only with a sense of dread, not a sense of I got work.
So you're gonna say the sense of dread might be linked to like the killings.
Oh yeah, that too. A little,
Escalated.
just a bit.
No? Okay.
So as we stand, a whole bunch of young women have been killed.
Yeah.
With the same MO as Carl Grossman, who is
It
dead.
can't be him. He's dead.
Until we met him
yes.
taking over the body of a little old woman.
Do we know that it was him? I thought it was
He
just...
responded to my harassment.
That's right. You were like,
so.
hey, you nerd, Grossman. Yeah. Right. Well, that's
Well.
not good.
And we were told that, perhaps I will speak in character. Who knows? You never know with me. We were told that runaways will be found in the zoo. And now Franziska is related to the zoo, but perhaps, I don't know for sure, perhaps that's where we should be.
It seems that they have, their family was related to opening the zoo.
Yeah.
So.
Look, we've been told that people go there to hide. So
if she was looking for somewhere to hide, she may go somewhere she is familiar with. And if she is uncomfortable being in the Russian Quarter,
yes,
the Caesar earlier threw me off. In the Russian Quarter, then she may think that she will be found there. The zoo is how far away?
It's neighboring the Russian Quarter, so it's pretty close, but...
Well, it's not the Russian Quarter.
No. All right.
She could still have made it there on foot.
Look, it is going to be cold outside, so let's get some jackets and things. I have a few spares. I'm gonna gather up like cold. It gets pretty chilly in Berlin.
Yeah.
It gets pretty chilly. At this stage, you're not in one of the times of the year where it gets freezing, but you've had some pretty cold rain and storms recently, so heavy jackets all round.
They're all Melbourne style.
Like
they range from
snows.
grey to black and back again.
But
So,
are they all-
a series of duffel overcoats.
Yeah, are they like puffer jackets?
North Face. Everyone put on your Uggs.
You say you have grey and black?
Oh, so rich, so wonderful. Of course,
well, this one is from a few years ago and it no longer fits me.
And that's the only one I could wear?
Well, you can have the larger one.
Okay, that's fine.
No, it's look. It's yes. You take this one.
Excellent.
No decisions to be made, and you're all right in what you're wearing.
Yes.
Okay.
you don't think that your jackets would fit even around one of Percy's arms.
Then
but-
I will give you a scuff. Sort of wrap it. Yes,
Thank
that's
you.
okay.
Okay, you've got a beautiful scarf on. All right, excellent. So you head out. You can hear that there is a lot of work happening in the back of your bookshop. All the communist folks that you have been housing are basically trying to repair the damage that was done during your rampage a couple of nights ago.
We don't know that for a fact yet.
I don't know who
I'm
did it.
pretty sure, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying there hasn't been any proof
Everyone
until
was-
the video cameras pick me up.
Exactly. Now, as you're leaving, you sort of you head out the front door. You turn towards the zoo, and you start walking back along the alley. You actually go back straight past the secret entrance, and you can see a couple of people you would recognize from the side business, sort of muttering quickly to each other. And one of the runners, one of the people who is employed to bring large stacks of the leaflets that you print out to various parts of the city, who has to start around this time, is there and is looking quite terrified and says it was like the shadows were moving, heading all of them just a couple of streets across, heading towards the Russian Quarter.
What are you talking about? The shadows moving.
I think I saw the ogre. Moving shadows. It was terrifying.
Where? This street or the one?
A bit. I ran. I didn't stop running, so a few streets over now. But just by the zoo.
Go inside. There is no need to deliver these papers tonight. You should be locked behind doors.
Do you really think it's an ogre out there?
No, but there is something on the streets.
All right.
Yes.
They sort of hustle inside, and you see one of the folks who is clearly a person of rationality and science give you a long eye roll as you, and then walk inside.
They're not going to survive the night.
Okay.
All right. You gather up your things, you get ready, and you walk out and you begin to wander through the streets, moving quickly in the dark, and you're heading towards the zoo specifically at this stage. All right. So as you're going, can I get whoever has the highest spot hidden skill to make a spot hidden check?
45 for me, bro. What about you?
45. You go. You're close to the dust.
Yay!
Dice can.
Fuck yeah. That isn't just a normal success.
Okay. With a normal success, along the way, you manage to spot a couple of wandering beams of light appearing down certain streets. And you realize that these are all torchlights that seem to be in the hands of large groups of mostly young men who are kind of scouring the streets. You actually ran into one of these groups earlier. These are people who are also looking for Sanofsky and attempting to try and find her.
I think we should probably stay away from these people unless we have a reason to talk to them.
Why do they want her as well? Are they being paid or some other nefarious purpose?
I don't know, but I suspect it is not for good reasons. That is my suspicion, at least. I think we should hope to find her first.
All right. So the Berlin Zoo is a pretty big place. It's quite famous, and it has a huge range of all kinds of creatures. It is most famous from the creatures that it has managed to source from the sort of Pacific Islands and the Southern Hemisphere. So it has a huge expanse of Australian creatures, which as Australians we know very well. But there you go. That's what they're particularly famous for. As you're heading in, you wander along the walls, and you can see areas where you would be able to scramble over or, give each other a boost and climb up. You can also see a main gate, which looks like it could be stationed by like an after-hours zookeeper or something. A profession which you were, a millimeter away from taking at some point.
Zookeeper. It's very sexy,
Exactly. Would have been a great investigator type for you to take.
After hours.
So, are you going to try and sneak in, or are you going to try and get in for the main entrance?
I mean, are they still selling tickets? It's like, oh wait, it's like 2 in the morning.
It's like 2 in the morning. They're not.
We would
selling
like to
tickets,
see the
but
pandas.
You can see that there is essentially like a station gate at the front, and it would be a security gate, but it would also be where
Are there people milling around? Is it busy? Like,
you can't see anyone milling around apart from the occasional bit of light that pops up.
Right.
But there do not appear to be any people milling around the zoo itself.
Well, I don't think they will. I have no reason why would be there legitimately, unless we were searching for someone. So I don't think we should tell them. If there is a way that we can simply slide past,
it will be quicker.
I agree.
All right, so you begin to wander along, carefully eyeing out the best possible entryway. With your spot hidden check, I'm going to say that you've managed to find a couple of candidates. The first is a quite high climb over to an area where there's no wires, and you would be able to just climb up and land easily on the other side. You should be completely fine. Otherwise, there is a section of the wall which has some sort of crumbling masonry and has been repaired with essentially a wire fence, and you can see that it's been sort of pulled up. You reckon you could duck under and scrape through it. That would be a dexterity check, which might be a little bit easier, but a failure would probably result in cutting and scraping yourselves on the wire.
You want to go 2 for 2 on climbing checks, Jim?
You lucked out last time on those climbing checks. I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, okay.
Again.
My climbing is base.
Yeah, my climbing is also base.
Oh, what about you,
the wooden
old
ladder.
man?
That's not happening.
Yeah.
I gotta lift this. I've got
Yeah.
I'm missing all
I
that muscle,
forgot,
and
you
that's
didn't
just
have a
wood.
leg. All right. Well, let's climb under the
I mean, you
thing.
could use me as like some kind of pole vault.
Can we? I don't want to be insensitive. Does your leg come off?
Why?
It does.
We could use it to
It's not
hold
pretty.
open the wire.
We could. There's a guard at the front, right?
Yep,
Do we
there's a
want to
guard
try
at
and
the front.
distract the guard instead?
You're also pretty sure that
Do you still have that cannon
Before
thing?
we de-limb Yosef here.
Yes, I have
Do
a
you-
perfectly maintained mortar launcher.
you
no,
do have them,
no,
but you haven't
Have I not retrieved it?
You haven't gone. It would be a whole day to go. It'd take like an hour.
Okay.
And you were on a strict time schedule.
I think that
But you can find a stick, really, if
Dex
it's just
check.
about.
I have 2 really good plans. 1, where I go and talk to the guard, and I'm a charming sort of person. They will let us through, I'm sure. 2, I go and incite the animals into violence. I have 45 in animal handling, and I would like to use it. I want to go chuck shit at like the zebras or something and make them angry, and then see if the
And then
guard
what?
Well, the guard will go and look at them.
Okay.
Classic stealth mission.
Yeah.
I'm an artillery engineer. I could build some kind of catapult.
Catapult me into the lion's den.
Yeah.
I'm a photographer. I could take photos of you being dragged to jail.
Well done.
Fine, no, do it, fine.
Okay, I'm doing that one then, unless someone stops me. Is there an animal? Is there a cage that borders along the edge?
Yeah, you can get close enough to see a couple of areas that are right up against the
I want something
edge.
that's going to hoop, like a baboon or something.
Yeah, you find a primate enclosure which is right by the edge. There's actually you can see that along the wall there's actually a bunch of like old apple cores and stuff like that because it looks like
Yeah,
the baboons have
baboons
been
love
throwing
apples.
stuff out of the cage when
Yeah.
they're done with it. So it's within throwing range.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't want to throw, I want to use animal handling.
Okay. Well,
Actually, I'm gonna get like the moons. Is it what full moon, Jim?
It's more of a moonless night. It's
Oh,
very
God damn, I was
dark.
gonna
It's
use
very
that.
shadowy.
All right, I'm gonna intimidate aggressive ape behavior. I'm gonna
Yep.
aggro these things. I'm gonna eye contact
Did
one.
you get
and I'm
any-
gonna bare my teeth out. I
smile
think
at
I'm looking
them.
at it through the gates.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
something.
So you managed to
Because
find...
everyone knows the exhibits are normally easily visible from outside the thing. So you don't
Right.
have to pay to go inside.
You're gonna
Exactly. There's a couple of gates where you manage to get a good vantage point. You have to sort of get given a boost by Joseph. But you're at the top, and you're imitating your best, and you're shouting and you're yelling at these creatures. Give me an animal handling check.
Yeah,
I think you
could
just
you
like give me
roll
a
this for
baboon
me?
hoot or something.
So I had 45 at animal handling. And I'm confident. What are we looking at?
Oh, you got any luck?
What is it? What do we-
48.
I'll use I'll use 3 points of luck.
Okay, with 3 points of luck, you roll a successful animal handling check, and you begin to sort of. Can you give me your best aggro baboon voice?
Well, I'm the horror thing in this because they just see from the baboon's perspective. This is a horror movie because they look up and on the cloudless night there's a woman.
Okay, so the baboons are going to make sanity checks.
Yep.
And
Are they?
upon failing, they begin to shout back and yell and screech. And within a couple of minutes, you can see a zookeeper hurrying over and sort of yelling, "Hey, calm down! Come on, it's all right," in German.
I've already forgotten the point of
Yeah, go quickly through the front. This was distracting them so that they leave.
Go.
Surely they're
All right,
no
all of
guards.
you nip through as quickly as you can, and having distracted the guard, there is no guard at this point. You managed
crushed
to
it.
burst into the zoo, and you are now alone amongst the various exhibits. Now, this is a very heavily wooded area. There's trees everywhere. There's cages set amongst them. You begin to follow paths and look about, and you can see all kinds of exhibits. There's an aquatic one to one side. There's more primates. At one point, you can see a couple of exhibits that head into the ground that contain dangerous animals, like lions and stuff like that. There's also one giraffe whose head pokes up above at ground level in this large pit and kind of just looks.
Really?
And you can see a lot of breadcrumbs around that clearly has been fed some bread recently.
Can giraffes eat bread or are they like ducks?
Well, it's being fed bread. Whether
So
it
are
can eat
ducks.
bread, it's, yeah.
So, if this woman is probably in here, come closer now. If the woman is in here somewhere, she's probably gone to wherever the Russian animals are, yeah? Like bears and things? Does that make sense?
Sure.
Well, no, really. There are so many places here. Most likely she has
Okay,
gone somewhere
well-
that she is comfortable. Or somewhere that is furthest away from where the guards would go.
So I find
I
that
feel like
what
she
I
would
do.
probably try and hide.
Yeah.
Is there some kind of...
dark crevice or remote corner is
I'll tell you what, so if you can choose to look in the area where the Russian animals are,
Dead ahead.
or you can choose to look in the far from the guards. And depending on which one you choose, I'll give you either disadvantage or advantage.
Okay, I think we go with
which is which.
further from the guards.
The right one
I
is
don't think I don't think she's gonna be like, bears. I'm
What's
really
another Russian
worried
animal?
about bears. I don't
There's
know.
like bears, there's like they have swans, I think.
We have swans.
Wrong royalty. I don't know.
I think she's going to hide.
Okay, so you're going
Yeah.
for hiding. In which case,
Disadvantage.
with advantage, can you either
Boo.
make for me a hard spot hidden or an easy track test?
Everybody?
Track.
Just one of you.
I don't have very good track. What about you?
I have 45 spot in, that's all I have.
What about
Go
you?
for it.
Yeah?
Okay, I'll do
I'm all
it.
good.
What was it?
This
Hard
was
with advantage.
With advantage, so you need 22.
Yes. Oh no. No, sorry.
Oh.
Do you have luck?
I rolled a
Or
40.
you were on a
I
push?
rolled a 40 and a 60.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like 20.
So-
No, 18 points of luck.
You begin to look around, but you can't. You're really not spotting anything at this stage. It's also it's gone 2 a.m. now. The time is ticking along, and you're beginning to get more and more conscious of the gradual dawn of the morning approaching. As you continue to search, you realize that basically you're going to have to either spend a long time going through this, or I'll give you the option to push the roll. What you can do then is you're going to head into some of the dangerous enclosures, and you're going to, make sure there's no one there.
I don't like this covering the mouth. Oh, kind of dangerous conclusion.
When you say
Weather
push
reason.
the roll, is that...
So you will get a re-roll with advantage. You cannot luck the
You
re-roll.
have to get under 22.
So I just re-roll the entire thing?
Yes.
Or just the 2D.
Technically, you just roll the D100.
Which is
yes.
good because you rolled a 0, right?
Yeah.
On the other one.
That's terrible.
Well, you could fumble.
That's
No.
a 1 in 10 chance.
No, a 20 or a 10. It's a
Oh yeah, okay.
2 in 10. 20%.
2 in 10 of passing, 1 in 10 of
And you
fumbling.
got 2, so 40% chance, approximately.
Whatever.
It's close.
Alright.
Well, no, it's 20% chance,
can
or
we-
20% chance of succeeding on an 80% fail. So it's like 35 or 6 or something. That is
No,
how-
please do go on.
No, it's... Okay, fine, I'll push the roll. I'm gonna go check out the dangerous enclosures.
No!
Oh, I rolled a 20.
Oh, well done. Okay, so you begin to check all the dangerous enclosures. You're looking over at the lions and you're like peeking in and you're making
Swear
sure.
to
You're
God.
like, no, I don't think there's anything here. The lions are gradually, they missed out on a meal. But actually, weirdly enough, you were lucky you checked the dangerous enclosures.
Because they're in the bears.
As you are going through towards the cassowary enclosure,
Oh, you're shitting me.
You spot a figure, a familiar figure, the figure of a young woman with slightly torn and muddy clothes, and she is standing in the middle of the cassowary enclosure. She's slipped in. The lock that keeps them in is quite simple. It could be opened by hand, but you have to go in sort of through the back, so no one would. And she's just standing in the middle of the enclosure, and there are cassowaries not 10 feet away from her. She's kind of just looking at them.
Those are friggin' raptors.
Long-time viewers may remember that in another campaign, we've already had encounters with cassowaries.
And it killed someone.
It killed someone.
To death.
Crit them and cut their head off, I'm pretty sure.
What is it with you and
Times.
cassowaries, Jim?
I genuinely, those were both running directly out of books.
The murder birds.
Why wouldn't you have cassowaries? They're the coolest kind of bird.
So we get to the edge of the thing. We see this idiot woman go, hey.
They kill people?
Now,
Well,
also,
this one did.
Also, I'd like someone to make a listen
It
check
aggroed.
at this point.
It did. I think we taunted. I can't. I think it like mind melded with something. It was bad.
No, there's the keeper
That was
woke
it.
up all the animals and enraged them to get them to attack
Yeah,
us.
that was
And it ended
Cool.
up dying.
Right.
Yeah.
Listen.
Listen check from someone. That's right.
I don't want to do it. I'm standing on the edge of my. Hey.
I'm
I'm trying to get her to look at me.
Okay.
Without alerting the birds.
You make a listen check. She looks up and she sees you, and she kind of draws back for a second.
No. You have to come here.
Oh shit.
Okay. And she
Just
walks
took away my
forward,
times.
Very careful.
and she gets right over to the edge, and she kind of leans in and she looks into your eyes. How do you get a listen check?
I'm gonna luck 1
All right.
to a hard success.
Okay. So as you're watching her draw close to Elsie,
your eyes.
nothing creepy. She's just looking into you. You know, it's I didn't mean that in a creepy way.
Oh
She
no! I
approaches you.
thought it was like mind swapped kind
No,
of.
no, nothing like that.
I'm turning away from her because last time she saw me, she started screaming.
That's
Fair, not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Right, so you've sort of drawn back a bit into the dark. Now,
Push you into the shadows.
as you
Stay.
suddenly something picks up in your ears, and you can hear what sounds like yelled conversation coming from the front gate. As you look, you can see some of those beams of light. It appears that one of those scouting groups is now checking the zoo and are relatively close.
Okay, cool.
Hey,
Yeah,
are you okay?
I'm okay. Yes,
Why are you here
I just
with the birds?
I had to get away from it all. I couldn't stay. The maid attacked me. Came at me with a butter knife, and she kind of holds up her hands. You can see a couple of not very bad cuts.
But that'd be awful.
Yeah.
The blood thing's running.
Exactly. Yeah. She kind of holds it. She's got like dried blood on her hands.
This is awful.
During the confusion, I ran out. I remember you. You came over. You came.
Yes, we were the ones who were looking for you last time as well.
You were?
Yes,
I see.
although we found you a little late. Listen, we think that there are people looking for you tonight.
She nods a few times and then says, "Who are they? Are they Bolsheviks?"
No.
Would that be bad if they were?
Yes.
I'm not. The Bolsheviks want to kill me.
Okay.
All of them.
What if they are Bolsheviks?
Well, I don't know. We're probably not giving her to anyone for the moment.
She would probably consider you to be Bolshevik.
I was just going to say,
You
we're
run a
Bolsheviks.
communist
we're communists.
newsletter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no, I love money.
Yes, we will be paid for this.
Capitalism.
Hello.
All right.
Isn't Karl Marx German?
You know what? I'm not going to.
Oh God!
Let's not. This is the sort of thing in chat just knows way more about us, and we're just not doing it. Because they can Google. Listen, no, no one here, at least, is looking to hurt you. All right, but there are people on the streets or those that have stranger motives still searching for you. Would you like to come back with us? You can have a tea or something and rest for time.
All right, I need you to make a persuasion check. You're trying to draw her out. Now, while this happens, you can see the beams of light quickly getting closer. They are approaching. They're going to be here in like 2 minutes.
Okay, we need to go. We need to get her out.
Persuasion, please. 70.
You rolled a 59.
Success.
All right, she nods and she goes, "Okay, all right, I'll come with you."
Okay, please
Okay,
come with us.
we need to go now.
Okay.
The lights.
Was there another way we can go back? How did you get in of here?
I came in while it was open. I just stayed.
Yes,
Right.
with the birds.
There was that hole in the fence. We just need to get out.
All right, let's go.
All right. She heads around the back and she sort of has to move quite slowly because the cassowaries are getting in between her and the door, and you're looking back between the big birds and the rapidly approaching lights and yelling people. She gets out and you begin to move and you begin to hurry through. I will need everyone to make a stealth check to avoid this patrol.
Oh man, just a pass.
35 is mine. Nope, not even close.
No, sorry, you rolled a 69.
Oh my!
yeah.
I did not, but I will with 2 points of luck.
Okay,
Okay,
so
I failed.
You failed. All right. So I'm also going to roll this young woman. She is as quiet as a ghost.
birds to a shadow.
Nice.
She's very good.
Good.
But I'm kind of nattering to her. I'm going, you have to be very quiet now.
and suddenly a light shines over, and the two of you both succeeded, right? Okay, so you're whispering to her, you have to be quiet, you have to be quiet, and then you find a light suddenly shining in your face. You look to try and tell her to run, and she's already gone.
It's just me.
Yeah.
Hey!
And you hear
Look where you're pointing that
you hear
thing.
someone swear in Russian.
Shit.
And a couple of seconds later, the light is sort of lowered, and you see walking towards you are about 6 men. You know that your companions should be hiding in the nearby area. You've just been unlucky and gotten spotted. But the 6 men, specifically, there is a couple of sort of large men that you might recognize from the altercation, the brawl that happened at the cafe in the first session. But with them is Prince Konstanovich himself.
Oh, shit.
He is also not dressed like a prince. He's wearing boots. He's wearing combat pants, and he's wearing like a heavy leather jacket. He also is not. He doesn't look like Prince Konstanovich anymore. He looks very, very different. You actually, as you gaze at him, you realize that he's a lot younger than he should be. And he
Like since we last saw him?
since you last saw him, he looks quite different. You're not quite sure why, but he looks a little odd. He sees you and kind of bristles somewhat, and then says, young lady Elsie, it's good to see you again. You following our instructions, you're searching the zoo.
Yeah, we're continuing to search. What are you looking here for as well?
We're hoping to find Sanzowski. Have you found her? Was she inside?
We have not finished searching the whole area yet. I'm just going to meet up with my companions.
Right, I see. I need you to make a fast talk check.
Yeah.
You are lying, you are saying you haven't found anybody.
I said we hadn't finished our search.
Yes, it's still,
But
you are being deceitful.
I'm
in
really
this
bad at
case.
fast talk.
Yeah.
Base
I did
5,
think it was
please.
weird that a Romanov was asking us to find a Romanov,
Yeah.
and she was with more Romanovs.
Yeah.
That should have been obvious.
Do I want to spend 81 points of luck? I think that'd be-
No, you were an 86.
Okay. He kind of...
I don't think I'm good at lying.
Yeah, you stutter a bit over it.
Yeah.
He tilts his head and says, I think there's a little more than you could be telling us. Why don't you share some information? You know, there's money involved. We can pay you. We can work together here.
Well, you're right. I'm not very good at lying. But you know what I am good at? Running. I fucking did.
And you turn and bam! You are running as quickly as you possibly can. You are tearing away. You are desperately trying to escape. You hear the Prince Konstanovich just start screaming at his allies, and they launch into a chase. And I'll need you to make a Constitution check, and I need to know what you are doing. I need to know what you are doing, given in mind that at the...
That's a fucking success 3, baby.
All right, so that brings you to 10 speed. So you are literally, once again, the second time today, you're tearing away, leaving, darting in between things. You're bloody motoring along. I don't even know if they have a chance to catch up to you, but we'll go. What are you two doing?
I imagine I would have wanted to beeline for the exit.
Okay, just bearing in mind that at the sight of all this chaos, Sanzowski takes off back towards the cassowary.
Oh, god damn it.
Fuck.
She just panics and starts running back in the other direction.
All right, which we have to grab her and steer
Yeah,
towards the
I
exit.
would like to grab her.
All right, so we're going to go to Dex order now, and we are going to go through things like that. So, first of all, can I get everyone to just remind me of your dexterity?
45.
70?
Yep.
45?
25.
Okay.
Oh, man. Hot damn.
The leg's not doing me any favors.
No, not today.
Okay, so you're first, and you begin to dart through, and you're actually able to get away pretty easily. These folks chase after you for a couple of seconds, but they realize they can't catch you, and then, to your horror, they pull out guns.
Oh, what the hell?
And they aim, and they have shots, but you realize they're not willing to kill you.
Okay.
So that's
I was
some
like, yeah,
information gathered. They're not firing, so...
Okay, they didn't kill me. That's a positive.
Yeah, well, chalk it down. There's got to be a couple
note
of
of
that.
Yeah.
Did not die today.
I wasn't shot. Exclamation mark.
All right. So they appear to be turning around, and they're not quite sure what to do at this point. Now, meanwhile, she's taking off. Right, so I am going to need you because you're technically going to go before her, and you can see her intention. You need to make a fighting brawl check for me. It's going to be a combat maneuver to pin her. Bearing in mind that since you're fighting her, you're going to have to make a stealth test afterwards to do it quietly.
Oh, I failed the brawl.
Okay, you reach out, you grab at her, but she's taking off. Make a stealth test because you still might get spotted.
That's a hard success.
Okay, you manage to but you duck behind a tree and no one seems to notice, and the action continues to move slowly away from you. On her turn, she's going to take off as quickly as she possibly can back towards the cassowary enclosure. What are you doing?
I would like to do the same thing if I can.
Okay, you are hurrying straight after
Yes.
her. Can you make a constitution check for me, please?
I'm sure I can do that. I cannot.
Okay.
That's not pushable because it's a chase, I guess.
That is not pushable, I'm afraid. And can you please let me know what your speed is?
6.
6. Okay. She is faster than you, so she is actually going to outrun you. And as you were tearing along, you see her, and she opens the door and she runs straight back in, paying no heed to the creatures, who startled start to sort of stomp around anxiously.
Oh, not the murder birds!
All right. Back up to the top. You have gotten away somewhat. You can just escape, and you can
Am
see
I
that there
aware
is chaos.
that
You would have known where to look, so yes, we're going to say you are aware of what's happened.
All right, I'll make for the murder birds.
Okay. Are you taking a wide arc to get back hidden, or are you just bolting there?
Dang it.
Okay. So you bolt there, which means you're going to you basically are really quick. So you're going to arrive basically at the same time as Yosef, and you both sort of come tearing in, but the other folks are running as well. They are all sprinting, and they're beginning to arrive, and everyone is converging and yelling and shouting, and the cassowaries are getting more and more anxious.
Oh God.
What are you doing?
I have to go in there with her, to try and get her. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna try and talk her down. Can I try and I don't know, because I've got psychology. I was thinking seeing what her mental state is and trying to
you can make a
assess what I should
psychology
say.
test. That would be a psychoanalysis test to actually calm her down. Psychology
I
is
definitely don't have
reading,
that.
psychoanalysis is action here.
Yeah, okay. I'm just going to... So where is she run in the actual enclosure?
She is just straight into the center of the enclosure.
And are there birds near her?
Yeah, there are birds pretty nearby, and they're not looking really happy.
Okay. I think what I'm going to try and do is... I'm going to try and aggro the birds.
Okay.
In the hopes that you two can get her out.
All right.
So I'm going to first thing that went into my head was grabbing a rock. That seems like a terrible
Being a
idea.
bird.
I'm just going to start screaming at them.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus.
The night has managed
I
to
have high
remain
con.
mostly
We're gonna die.
coughs and yells and
It's gonna be the
slight
friggin'
scuffles,
birds
but
that
now
kill us.
the night is broken apart by the high-pitched screaming of Percy. This roar from his cavernous chest.
I'm going to... it's fine.
No, okay, right, and and everything just explodes into chaos, and everything is moving at once because, right as you start to yell, all of a sudden, 2 of the guards that are there drop to their knees and grab at their faces, and their eyes start flashing bright red, and a croaky voice snarls out, "You're mine, girl!" And at that point, the first of them suddenly spews out a huge wave of projectile blood vomit, just spraying it across the ground, and begins to get up with still just liquid pouring out of their face. And the second one is going to try to get up, but fail for a second because their hands have turned into large sucker pads. And they manage to pull themselves up, and with bright red eyes, they begin to scream and go through. So,
James.
So poorly.
It's like no ogre I never knew.
This was going really well.
Wow.
And then
was going
it
pretty well.
really wasn't.
okay, back to the top.
I had no
checks?
plans.
Yeah, sanity checks, absolutely.
Screaming at birds.
If I take one more loss to my sanity today, I'm insane.
You better succeed both of these.
Cool beans.
Yeah.
Sanity roll?
Can I roll, please?
Let me do me first.
Yeah.
I'm at like 68. Yep, I'm good.
I'm at 24.
You passed.
I'm in a similar position.
Oh,
so-
wow.
Roll twice, did you say?
It's
Two of them?
just a single roll, but it's because it's
roll-
both happening at once.
you roll
So you are still
Thank
managing
you.
to hold yourself together. But yes, you are in a similar situation because you were just
man.
insane earlier today.
Back to madness.
So,
Good news.
How are we looking?
not good.
Okay.
What does that mean for me?
All right. So you have leapt to action. Make an intelligence check.
Oh, yes, and I would like to fail this, please.
You would love to fail this.
My intelligence is...
You didn't fail it, bro.
Okay.
You're
Once
smart
again,
as
so
hell.
Far
you're
too
leaping to
smart.
action. You see the horrible things, but you're not going to think about it. Don't think about it. You've got to
Not
keep
yet.
going. You see the horrible things, and you are going, this is awful. I don't want any of this. You suddenly begin to panic.
No,
You're
so
gonna
it's
back to
chores
death.
then.
Well, we're
Now I have to choose which one to fight.
The water launcher. I have to go back for the water launcher.
I want you to roll for me 1d10.
But, oh, do I lose some sanity first?
Yes, you lose 2 sanity.
Oh, just 2. That's not so bad. And I'm about to go temporarily insane, I believe.
Yes, you are insane. Enjoy. It's a fun feeling.
A bout of madness, if you will. 8.
8, okay.
Isn't that what you rolled last time?
All right.
No, those are permanent. Oh, no.
Well, how it works is that I get you to roll, and then I roll a d10 and add to it.
Oh,
You get
that's
a
right.
little bit of a bonus on top.
you get a little bit of bonus.
Still
on top.
take.
It's also a way that things stay random, so that you can never be sure.
But effectively, you may as well just roll 1d10.
Effectively, but I like to let people don't point d6. Anyway, here's a fun thing.
Yeah.
Roll a d100 because you have once again rolled a mania,
Oh my
and your
God.
shattered mind is deteriorating further.
Wait, is this temporary or another
No.
No,
indefinite?
this
I
is
get another indefinite insanity on top?
you were
Congratulations.
going to get you have a chance to get rid of it, but
All
Well, now, that's pretty intense.
10. What again?
I call that a 41.
a 41.
Yes.
Okay, so and I'm going to get you to describe how you think this happens. But
Is this another phobia / mania?
this is a mania, not a phobia. It's a different roll table. But you have rolled a mania and you have rolled egomania.
Oh, man.
An egomanic indecisive.
Well, I don't know what I'm choosing, but it's going to be good for me.
That is tough.
Egomania is like,
That's so
I'm
strange
pretty
too for your-
cool.
You think you're the best.
I'm a-
You think you're the center of the universe. You think you're wonderful.
Indeed.
And
All
in
right.
fairness, you might be.
I see these two things. I go, I've already survived one of them. Now I have to choose. I can't choose which one to go after, but so I can take them both. I can take them.
All right. All of it at
I can take
once.
them both. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have to choose anymore. I am a survivor.
Fantastic.
That's amazing.
Back up to the top.
free.
Oh,
Do I get a turn?
Oh, I think we've done turns.
Yes,
Yeah, that was
we've
just
done-
sanities.
That was all
I think it's
sanities,
me.
basically. So we're going to go back to the top from now.
You-
Your turn was running, basically joining the fray because you were kind of slow.
Okay.
So we're going to go to. I think I've got it.
I've only had one turn so far.
I think you think you
Yeah,
are.
we've all done.
Oh, okay,
We've all
very
done
good.
one. We've all done one.
Excellent.
I'm just getting back to the top.
So
You
back to the top. It is you.
By all means.
All right. So these things they're changing. There's more of them still that are unchanged and have guns.
So there were 6
To
folks.
death.
2 of them have changed. There are still 3 left of sort of standard folks, and then the prince himself.
Ooh, could hit the prince. No. I want to try and can I aid Percy in inciting the pigeons and driving them towards?
Absolutely. Make an animal handling check with
I'm sorry,
advantage.
the pigeons?
They're big pigeons, but they're pigeons. Could you roll for me, please? I have advantage. DC 45.
Give me another T10 then.
I don't have one. There we go. Thank you.
I would like a pay raise for this
It's like a
burdensome job I've been given. What's your number?
Yeah, 45. That's a success too.
Okay, fantastic. So you just, so you are leaping, and these creatures start to sprint around, and they start to yell frantically. They're screaming at the top of their lungs, and caw-cawing as feet, but they're all sort of attacking you. Now, next it is the turn of the goons, and they basically, first of all, one of them rushes forward straight into the enclosure, desperately to try and get Sanozowski. Gets towards her.
Screaming.
The other two spot the demons and start yelling, "What the hell?" and they're aiming guns at them and stuff. And suddenly the whole night explodes.
Do they yell in Russian?
One of them yells in German, one of them yells in Russian.
Okay. I'm writing that down.
Bear that in mind. So I'm going to roll a couple of dice and do some maths on my side. Okay, very
My
good.
HP. I never did my HP. What's HP?
What's your size plus
your
con?
strength?
Con.
Size and con. Yeah, what's your size plus your con?
175.
So divided by 10?
17.
17. That's a ton.
Enjoy being ridiculously healthy.
Yes.
So have you landed? You've clocked the fact that these people are also Bolsheviks.
Well, they're Russian something. She was saying that they're being chased by Bolsheviks. I don't know what's happening. We're going to figure out later when I'm not being
I'm
chased
just
by.
saying, it sounds like we're on the same side. We're communists as well.
But they want to kill her.
Man, I cannot have this conversation while I'm aggro on these people.
Exactly. I'm afraid that now is not the time. You'll be able to sort out the details. So, here's what happens. First of all, the one that's stuck to the ground is trying to get up, and one of the goons says, "What the hell?" and just shoots him in the head. He falls to the ground immediately. And then he starts pumping the body, shooting at the body of his former friend. The other one fires a shot but misses as the one that's projectile vomiting gets up and turns, and it wheels around and it vomits directly onto the prince. Who pulls up his hand and starts to scream as birds begin to appear across yelling, falling backwards. The ones inside managed to get together. So the one who has got to Sanozowski and has grabbed her, but she's wrestling him off, and the two of them are stuck in a stalemate, desperately trying to shove each other. So not a good round overall for the demons. Or the ghouls, or the goons rather, or Sanozowski really, but you have a chance to change that. You've had your go, what are you going to do?
So how screaming at the birds isn't really doing anything?
No, you've successfully drawn them all over to the fence. They are all over and they are like biting at the fence and they're trying to get a hold of this one. So you could now dive in and try and get...
Yeah, I think I'm just going to try and get her out because of all the chaos. This is a good time to try that.
Yeah. So you sprint in, you arrive, and you can see Sanozowski is trying to force herself away. I need you to make a fighting brawl check, and it's gonna just need a success 1 if you are trying to just shove away this goon that's trying to grab her. But if you want to get her too at the same time, it's gonna need a hard success.
I've only got 25. I just
You don't need to decide between the two. Just make the roll, and we'll see.
Right. Okay. 63. No, I just didn't pass.
No, okay. So unfortunately, you're just stuck in this melee now. You're all falling over each other. But the birds are still distracted, fortunately. None of them are desperately trying to kick at you.
Really good at that.
So Prince, meanwhile, jumps back and manages to flick out a small pocket knife and leaps forward and tries to slash wildly at this bile-covered thing, who then dodges his blow and slams back and knocks the prince onto his ass with a busted jaw. Your shot.
So was one of the demons taken out?
One of the demons has been shot in the head and taken out.
Disappointing. I could have taken him.
You could.
Let's just make that clear.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
All right. And one of the goons is still just pumping him full of lead.
Yeah, panic screaming.
Okay. I would like to get the gun.
Yep. Right.
Now, don't care how that happens.
Okay. So you can sprint over, make a fighting brawl check to just grab this guy's gun.
That. And is there a way I can make it clear? Like, I'm not focusing on him. I'm focusing on the demon. So I want to make it clear to him. I'm not going to grab his gun to shoot him.
You can, but that requires a great deal of thinking of others' feelings. And I think that you are too egotistical at this point. You are too insane.
That is fair.
Make a fighting brawl check to snatch his gun out.
Doesn't matter. I can snatch it anyway with a 93.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think you have 93 fighting brawl. Okay.
Not yet, someday.
And he's suddenly wrestling for the gun and everyone's yelling and you can hear, you can see more lights approaching the zoo from various directions.
Why?
Because there's been gunshots.
No, go away!
You fool! I can take it. Give me the gun. He goes back and forth, and he ultimately, after hearing you yell, will let go of the gun. Oh, good. And you're going to grab it.
Yes.
He kind of staggers backwards, but you'll have to wait till your next turn to shoot.
That's fair.
Back up to the top. What are you doing?
So the birds are all running towards me.
You're up on the other side of the fence, I presume.
Yeah. I'm trying to lead them into the people.
Oh, into the people. Okay,
Yeah.
you are not on the other side of the fence then. Okay, I will need you to make a second animal handling check, and at this point you will actually set them on.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
Like, just flipping ruin them.
Yep.
Could I get a roll, please, Rachel or Jackson?
I'll do it.
I have 45 in this. Although you'd think I had a million for how good I am at it.
Okay.
Just off a success 2.
Excellent.
Success one.
These creatures just speed through. If you get a success 2, I'll let you actually target them. You can pick who they kind of prioritize.
I'll spend 2 points alive.
Who would you like to send them after?
The remaining ghoul.
The remaining demon thing. Yes, exactly. Perfect.
Looks like a pencil, my dude.
Yeah. I'm too deep now. This character is sullied.
Bold Call of Cthulhu investigator, right?
You should take a photo of these character sheets and share them with people so we can see the horrors of a long-term game. The sanity going slowly. All right. These things just pounce onto the creature. Oh my god. Yeah, and before long, like, everyone has just scattered.
Basically, just running into me, and I'm running past them and just...
yeah. So, look, the other demon is kind of annihilated pretty quickly. They both fall to the ground, and there's more yelling, and everyone is chaotic. You have both managed to grab Sinzvovsky and sort of get her out of the pen, and as you're turning to flee, you hear the prince... sort of get up. You're still insane, so we'll get to you in a second. But the prince is getting up and yelling at you as you run out with Sinzvovsky, right? Basically saying, "Stop! We're on the same side."
Are we?
So you're kind of hesitating at least to try and talk.
I'm running.
You're running.
I can't turn around.
You've got these things after you. You're insane. What do you think you would be doing in your insanity?
If I can't kill a demon, I want to take on a cassowary.
Okay. All right. First of all, roll me a d10. We're going to see how long your insanity was going to last for.
I would appreciate that, yes.
It only lasted for 2 turns, bearing in mind.
We'll never know.
It's dead custody.
Bye.
6 rounds.
6 rounds. Okay. So you charge a cassowary, and I would like you to just. What I'm going to do is, because the fight is essentially winding down, I'm going to get you to make a fighting brawl check.
And take 10,000 damage.
Oh,
success 3.
Oh my god. Okay.
Told you.
I would like you to roll your damage.
Oh man. That's max, right? Because it's success 3.
Oh my god, it is.
Which is really? That's a full D3 of damage, baby.
You have no damage bonus?
Damage bonus.
Okay. So fortunately, you don't do the unthinkable and kill a cassowary with a punch.
Smack it in the face.
But as this thing comes, you do slug it really hard and kind of and turns around. And you're standing in the middle, you've taken it out, you've got it.
That one was a demon. I swear.
You saw it. You all saw it. Cassowary's never been more confused in its life. They are now.
Came around. All right.
Wow. One man climate change.
Your insanity is gradually fading. They're kind of giving you a wide berth because you're sort of swinging and yelling. They're ignoring you. You're too quick at this stage.
Did
and
I
you're still running
see
from
that
the
dude
cassowaries.
get splattered?
Yes, you did.
And it looked like a person when it got splattered or returned after?
Yeah, it did returned afterwards. The demonic features vanished.
Okay.
And they are yelling after you, and basically I need to get a vibe from the three of you. Are you intending to stay, or are you intending to flee?
I want to leave.
I want to leave.
I am very stressed by all of this.
Okay. The three of you turn, and after a couple of seconds, you're all scattering. In the chaos and the confusion, you will manage to slip away from the zoo, and you will manage to get out, and you will rally a couple of streets over, just near the Andreaplatz, in the small square that you actually started this campaign in, just by the cafe. It is once again dark and deserted, although you can see a couple of lights on and a couple of shadowy figures all looking towards the zoo, because the sound of gunfire has echoed in the air, a sound that people in Berlin have hoped to forget after it came so precipitously close only a few short years ago.
I lost track. Did we get Francisco?
You have got her.
We have her, yeah.
Excellent.
Do I make a roll for having because I killed a person, or maybe not killed a person, or killed a demon?
Go punch a cassowary.
I'll tell you what. Make an intelligence check. We're going to use insanity rules. We can decide whether you realise the implications of your actions.
75.
Yep, 39.
Yes, you can make a sanity check then.
Okay. Please roll again. 24.
94.
Not a fumble.
Okay. You're going to take a D3 of sanity damage.
Here's a D3. Hey.
I like remake it. It's like
3.
You're 3. You
Definitely
yourself.
insane because you have not slept. And you are still at great risk, but we are not in a bout of madness.
I didn't want to kill someone. Like that's
So I would like you to roll a d10.
okay. Are you able to keep rolling for me? This just
That would be a 5.
Okay. Ooh, this is a fun one.
And D100.
only if it's maniophobia. Not necessarily, but it's fine.
No, I would like you to hand me your character sheet. What you have rolled.
Get your own damn character sheet. I like this one. I have a star on that. Just
Okay.
Note
What
that.
you have rolled with 5 is you have rolled ideology and beliefs.
Okay.
So I get to make an alteration to
Go
one of
for
your
it.
ideology and on beliefs and
man.
make it sort of come out in some sense. So I'm seeing your belief here. Money is.
It's like money is power or something.
And you've also got root of all evil here, so I'm not sure whether you feel it is.
I was saying that money. So I rolled money is powerful when we made characters.
Yes.
But since she's got comment side, she's like money is power, therefore it needs to be taken away and redistributed. She doesn't hoard money; she sees it as power, and that's why it needs to be taken away.
Okay. I'm going to let you decide which direction you want to go.
You do it.
I've got 2 options for you, but
Okay.
I'm going to
Both
give
bad.
it to you. Both terrible. So I'm either going to have you basically decide, look, money is power and I need power now. I can't do that. I need to defend myself. So you're going to become completely obsessed with money. And that will probably come at the cost of forsaking some of your political beliefs.
Yeah.
Or go in the complete other direction. You've seen this one. He gets along fine with no money. You've already lost a bunch in your shop. What if you just never put it back together? What if you just gave it all away?
Oh man, oh man, that's tough. Both of those are awful.
Hand you back your character sheet. Have a think. Now, this is a bout of madness that is going to take place over time, so it doesn't need to manifest immediately. In fact, it will probably only begin to manifest at the end of this session, presumably, assuming that you survive. So,
I got it.
have a think about it.
Can we Slack message you?
No, that's okay. We'll talk about it on stream.
You got it.
I think it's exciting. Excellent. So, what are the 3 of you doing? Sansaski is there. She's hyperventilating. She looks terrified. She looks frightened. She's not she's just like looking back and forth, furiously, looking very, very anxious.
Can I quickly do like first aid to make sure she's not injured in all the chaos or anything?
I think I am better at first aid, so
Okay,
I will
cool.
take it.
Okay,
Thank
fine,
you.
fine. I just took photos, you saved lives, whatever, let's not compare.
Step back, please.
Jax, hey, Jax,
Yeah.
please do not lean forward.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, this is pretty apparent. It's fine.
First aid.
I just don't want it to get out of focus.
Very good. First aid. Success 3.
Oh,
So
fantastic!
she does not scream this time.
No, she doesn't. She's uninjured, apart from a couple of scratches and bruises and sort of the general cuts along her hands from the attack. She seems pretty okay. She's also kind of wide-eyed and she's watching and she's saying, "Where do we go now? What do we do?"
We have somewhere safe. You'll be okay now.
Okay. Where is this place? Where are you taking me?
We can go back to my bookstore for the time being.
They don't know where that is. They've never seen it.
Well, they have been there
Have
briefly.
they?
Yes. They
Well,
were,
why
they
don't we
came to
go,
visit
we
me,
could
but-
go to like my...
I know a good bridge.
No.
No, we need somewhere to... They've never seen my apartment.
Okay, does it have locks and things on the doors? My place was made to possibly, if the police came, I have some bolts and things.
Yeah,
No,
You know
this
what?
is
Sure.
does your place have bolts?
Yes.
Okay, then let's go
At
here.
least one. I assume.
All right. You begin to walk along and move hurriedly through the streets, heading towards Percy's apartment. What are you all thinking at this point? What's going through your heads?
Survived those things twice.
Good, nice. What about you, Percy?
I'm thinking on what the prince said about being...
So your stump leg?
That was my wooden leg.
Okay.
About like us being on the same side and trying to decide if we can trust him, because he definitely didn't look like a prince anymore. So, and also how can we defend ourselves if we do get tracked down at the apartment?
And finally,
I am concerned that whatever those things were that changed can just be anyone now. And I'm just beginning to keep an eye on, you know, the companions, the others around the streets. Yeah, a little paranoid maybe.
all right, make a psychology test for me.
Don't mind if I do. Please, thank you. My psychology is base, so 10%.
88.
No way. So your guys gauging
78.
everyone, every shadow that you see, you're jumping at.
Yep.
You hurry through the streets as quickly as you can, moving, and finally, at last, probably about 3 a.m. now, you arrive inside the confines of your home. You head up. Do you live in an apartment building, or do you live in a small bungalow? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
so
an apartment.
Head of the apartment, open it up, and everyone bustles inside. What does your apartment look like to the casual visitor?
My apartment is fairly small. It's only really like a bedroom, a little kitchen, a living area.
Studio.
It's not a studio, it has walls. Sorry.
Don't mention the studio.
But it's sparsely furnished. I only really have what I need. Maybe I have like a little one of these bad boys.
Yeah.
White. For like photographing stuff.
Exactly, yeah. You see that as you walk in, Sanzowski's face falls. She kind of goes, "We're not really going to stay here, are we?" And you can see like some element of royalty kind of flaring up in her, and she looks positively enraged at the thought.
No, you don't have to stay here. If you'll be more comfortable out in the street with killers roaming around, then be our guest.
And also, they won't think to look here.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, this is a well-defendable studio. They will never find us here.
It has rooms.
Oh.
I put dividers up.
Oh, yeah, no, it's nice. I like it. No, it's good.
I mean, it's not bridge.
Is there a lock on the door that we can quickly?
Roll a luck check.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna say Percy's not
Like
a terribly
lock check.
paranoid
Nice.
person, but
Self-nice myself.
yes.
Yeah, fortunately you bought a bolt. One of you, so you do. You actually bolt the door and you feel quite good. You walk back in and sit down.
Can I find some way to reinforce it with my mechanical repair?
Sure, make a mechanical repair check, and you're kind of moving furniture at this stage.
I also have an idea if
Crit,
that
you're
doesn't
turning
work.
into a mortar launcher.
You're just jamming under the whatever. Show off.
Success 2.
Okay.
Hey.
What are you doing? Did you say you had an idea
I
as
was
well?
gonna put a door, like a chair under the door handle.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's essentially what he's doing.
That's what I do, but better.
Oh, whatever.
Okay.
I can oh, I guess that would be locksmith. I can jimmy the handle a bit so that in a way that makes it very hard to turn from the outside. And if they try to open it, then it makes a lot of noise when you hear them coming.
Okay, perfect. So you're doing a bunch of stuff. You're basically reinforcing this door properly.
You can't decide quite which upgrade to make. You upgrade the bolt and the chair and belt around here.
I am putting on the kettle.
Alright, you head into the small kitchen, which is the only place that has another solid wall between it that isn't just a divider, and you're sort of preparing tea. You hear Sanzowski kind of yell, "No sugar," from the bag, which might be good because you checked the jar and you didn't have it. What are you doing?
I want to sit down with this woman and just stuck in a bead on her.
Alright, now, as you're working on the door, and you're in another room, and you're alone with her, I'm going to get you to remember 2 rolls you made last session. The first roll was a luck roll. I got everyone to make it.
Remember that.
I got everyone to make this luck roll, and this was a luck roll, and I'll come candidly clean.
Yeah.
About whether you consumed flesh of one of Grossman's victims.
Oh no!
And the second one was a power check, which is resisting the ability to be possessed. You also failed. So as you were sitting down, your friends are completely occupied and you are alone with her.
Oh.
Your eyes flash red.
Oh, the eyes flash red.
Oh no.
A second later,
Locked ourselves in
locked-
here, you fuckers.
and you are locked in here.
We are not locked them out of here without them.
And
we are
we'll
locked
see.
in with him.
Shit. Well, I've just boiled some water. You've got the stump leg. We can
okay.
do this.
Well, you know what? First of all,
Not that we know anything's happening.
No.
First of all, well, it's going to become obvious very, very quickly because, as you have seen, you have
Fucking kill you!
Yeah, well, pretty much this voice goes suddenly from Elsie's mouth. You all jump. You're all on the other side of the room, and a second later, Elsie, you are rolling randomly on the demonic mutation table,
What?
which I have here. Which
What?
people have been doing all kinds of great, scary
So we
things.
had the mouth,
Now,
we
I've
had the
rolled
blood.
something for you, and it is cruel and great. And I'll give you a choice. You can take what I think would be incredibly cruel but
hell
incredibly
yeah.
great,
I want that.
or you can roll yourself.
I want your one.
Okay, in which
That's
case
your fault, not
you
mine.
will. Oh my god! Roll a d4 for me.
Okay.
Just let me too.
Yes, please.
Ba, ba, ba,
Oh, that was pretty much invisible, so.
Four.
All right, and with that, you grow 4 new legs popping from your back, leaping out. Your movement speed increases for 1 for each leg, reaching a whopping 12. You are the quickest thing
fucking
on
Sonic the
6
Hedgehog.
legs, and as you literally like a spider, we go immediately.
First of all, that is very insensitive.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
You know,
Is
so
that a personal
the,
attack?
the rich get richer.
Leg rich, get richer.
And I am going to have to ask.
Oh, what the hell? I forgot about that. Oh, I was so paranoid about everyone else, I didn't check
right.
myself.
And your dex is 70, I believe.
Yeah, dude.
Which means you were going to go before her.
Later.
Your goal is to kill her.
Yeah,
What
alright.
would you like
What
to
floor are we on?
do? Roll. You said an apartment building. Roll a d10.
10.
You're on the 10th floor.
Oh, man, is there a window?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, there's a
Wait, how
window.
secured is it? Because he was working on securing them.
He's at the front
I'm at
door.
the door.
He's been doing the door. You've been doing the window. You're on the 10th floor. Why would you do the window?
Grab her ass and we go sprinting. I'm controlled, right? So I have no sense of self-preservation either. I grab her and we're going over the edge.
Okay, make a fighting brawl check.
Well, I'll try and throw her. I'll try and...
Absolutely.
Or do I? Or am I just perceiving like I'm a vessel? If it's more likely, I'll just go over.
Grossman, it's not easy for him to possess people.
Ow.
He does expend resources doing it, so you have the vaguest amount of self-preservation.
And this body's got an appearance of 70, so that's worth keeping.
Exactly. Make a fighting brawl check for me.
Grossman is hot.
Thank you. My fighting roll is 30. Hell yeah. I failed.
64.
Okay, so fortunately, you grab at her and start pouring your legs kicking out wildly. She begins to scream at the top of her lungs. She's going to attempt to dodge, and she's scrambling back across the ground. She has not been grabbed by you yet. Next in line,
I need more arms to
is-
grow.
It is her turn, and she's going to sprint into the kitchen as quickly as she can, screaming at the top of her lungs. You see her arrive next to you, and she grabs the kettle full of boiling water.
Yo!
What would you like to do?
You let her take it.
Okay, you let her grab the
I
kettle.
grab a
said we don't
rolling
have
pin
any
'cause
sugar.
I suddenly decided I now like baking.
Yeah, okay.
So it's a
Nice,
fucking nice one.
So you've got your best rolling pin, and you can see Elsie tearing across your tiny room. She's knocked over one of the dividers. Your coffee table is gone. Legs are kicking everywhere. Both of you roll sanity checks to try and not go insane. As you have seen, Elsie, your friend, grow extra legs.
shit, Lo.
Remember, if you fail this, you're going insane again, Jackson.
I failed.
Can I spend luck on a sanity roll?
Yeah,
You
can.
absolutely
I
can.
would love to do that. 4 points.
How much did I lose last session?
Alright, so fortunately you've managed to realize what's going on, and you're just, oh god, it's happening again. But you're eager to.
Last session I lost 4, which was it's a 5th, right?
Yes, that's
I
correct.
need to lose like 13 before I.
All right.
You're good.
Well, you're going to lose a D4 for this.
Yep.
Do I lose anything?
No, if you succeed, you lose nothing.
Excellent. I lost 4 points of luck.
That's a 4.
Okay.
That's a 1.
Is it?
That's a 1.
Oh, it is. Yes, that's a 1. Sorry, I thought it was one of those ones where if it's blank, it's the highest number, but you're right. It's a 1. Yeah.
Fortunately, it appears not to be.
Just a tickle. So I am. I am. Oh, I'm pretty far from. I'm like 8 away from indefinite sanity. I had really high starting insanity. Like 68.
Okay, that's good, yeah. So
Yeah, my sanity was 99.
Yeah, you're great. You're managing to hold it together, Percy. You're feeling fine. You're feeling wonderful. You're feeling dandy. This isn't going to throw you off.
Making my way down.
I'm faster than a horse.
Yeah, you're
I'm faster than 2 sharks.
okay.
I'm faster than everything in this goddamn book.
What about like cheetahs and stuff?
They're not either. I'm faster than a crocodile in the water.
I'm like a falcon.
What about
Falcon's the
wombats?
fastest.
I got a condor. 12 flying, 13 on land.
Oh,
and I'm about to flip and fly as I go out this window.
It is now your turn.
You're welcome to grab the rolling pin. I'll be going for the gun.
Okay.
That is obviously in the house as an ex-soldier and a revolutionary.
Make a luck check, Big Gun.
I'm very violent.
And also,
In which
they're
case,
hella,
don't make the luck
and they're
check. If you
hella
don't think you
illegal.
have a gun.
I don't think he does, dude. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
unfortunately. So,
Mortar launches.
I mean, you might think there's a gun and go searching for one.
Of course, and I will find the closest thing to a gun.
Okay, make a spot hidden check for your turn.
A hairdryer.
Or luck.
This will be
Turn on
spot
reverse.
You were searching, so I'm going to decide.
I'm searching for
Wait,
any
you're
kind of
reverse.
weapon.
Yeah.
Best. I'm searching for the best weapon.
A vacuum cleaner that you turn on.
I've just dropped my dice. There's another one.
This is a train wreck.
Ah,
Is that 66?
No, it's a 96 or a 99.
Oh,
Oh,
God. Did
please
you fucking fumble?
You
I
find a
think
gun.
it's a 90. That's a 96.
Isn't that
Unless
still
it makes
fumble?
things more fun if it's 99.
That's 96.
In which case,
What
I
were you
would
trying
leave
to
it.
do?
Times
dude?
96.
It's a 96.
It's
It's
a
a 99.
It's
It's
not
more
a
We're
fumble.
going to go for 96. 96 is not a fumble.
Even
One
with
outside the
25?
range.
Oh, wait, yes, that it is. Right?
yeah, it is.
96 is
Fumble
up.
me up, baby.
Welcome to the
Well, you know what? I keep joking around and saying, why wouldn't you guys ever roll badly?
Call Cthulhu is a
You
bit.
know,
Things go wrong. Things go wrong. Let's do it, baby.
go wrong. And as you begin to frantically search as best you can, knocking things over, the first thing you do is you knock over the dark room, destroying all these photographs that are being treated. But secondly, the large camera on a tripod goes through and smashes open the door to the window, and the wind begins to blow in. There is now a clear path straight out and off the edge of this large
Boom.
drop.
Whose turn is it, Jim?
Well, it's going back to the top, so it's your turn.
What up, sucker?
Fuck.
I grab this chick and we get out of here.
Okay, I would like you to make a fighting brawl check to try and
She's got
drag her
that
away.
scalding, flipping. Where's my?
And just so everything is done out in the
Actually, let me see if there's anything smarter I can roll. 'Cause I'm not good at fighting. I have 5 points in it.
Fighting sounds good.
well, Elsie might be smart, but this is actually Grossman controlling
Yeah.
you entirely, and he's going straight for raw
I
muscle.
can't think of anything else.
Although, I will say something, since you have been fighting for a full round, you're going to get something really cool. Something new is going to happen to you, Elsie.
good. I need more
You're gonna have
arms.
a lot of fun. Specifically, your hands become claws. Lengthening out. They now deal an extra 1 damage whenever you're using a fighting brawl attack. They're not like long claws, they're probably about that thin. Like, Saber Claw from X-Men.
Yeah, I'd be a lion if I wasn't faster than a lion. I'd grab her. Can you find me rolling, please? I have 30 in this. Oh,
Go
I
home,
wanted that
son.
crit.
Go
I
home.
really wanted it.
Go home. 51.
Trying to go. I'm just trying to
So
take
that is a fail
Yeah,
on
it's a
your
fail.
part.
I don't bad at this.
Now, as you charge forward, she is actually going to try and get you back, and you dive towards her legs, your many legs flailing. She's going to try and kick you, and she's going to fail horribly, but flail horribly at the same time. Your turn.
Okay, I got the bowling pin. I'm just gonna try and knock her out.
Okay.
I don't want to. God, I have shitty brawl. Is there anything else I can do that's not that? Oh
You
shit!
could arm
Could I?
him.
No.
You know he's
do I
good
have?
at thumping.
Do I have like lights?
Yeah, you got a lamp to one side, you got a light up above.
Can I try and like blind Like use like the flash.
Oh yeah, you have a set up flash
that's a
thing.
good
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
I'm
Make a
gonna fuck-
photography check.
Fuck yeah.
Photography check in combat.
The greatest combat skill.
Yeah, success.
Okay, there's a loud, sudden flash. You're going to take disadvantage on your next turn
Hey!
because you are dazed. I need you to make a dex. Actually, this will be it'll be a dexterity check.
Dexterity?
Oh, you can do con because you just
Yeah.
weather it. Actually,
Yeah,
Makes
yeah,
sense
yeah.
to me.
My
Make a
dexterity is low
constitution
because of
check.
my leg, which is not going to prevent me from closing
Yeah.
my eyes. Not that it matters. Fail that.
Okay, you also have disadvantage, and it is your turn. What would you like to do?
If I couldn't find the best weapon in the room, I'll find the closest one, which
Okay.
is probably, I don't know, what is the closest weapon in the room? Is it a
It's
chair?
going to be assorted blunt object 01. You may pick your blunt object 01.
Oh, it's your house.
Yeah,
I
let's
have
try
this
it.
really nice wood statue that my
Beloved family member.
brother Carl gave me before he died, I think, in the war.
Sold!
Oh man.
12!
With disadvantage.
Oh,
And you are attacking here?
yeah.
Yeah, you grabbed it, so you're making a fighting brawl.
Do I get to
Yes.
dodge?
Yes,
All
you
right. Yes, you can dodge or riposte.
Oh, he's not dead.
Dodge. Oh, I mean, I can.
You're more in kill mode. You're going to riposte.
Okay, I'm way worse at it, but if he's fine with it. Alright, could you roll for me, please? I have disadvantage on this.
Grossman is not a tactical thinker.
You have disadvantage?
Yes.
I got a success 1. You got
Oh, that looks like a fumble.
94.
Yeah.
Is that a
Okay.
fumble?
No. It's just
So
very bad.
you swing wildly, and your fist, just before you can even get close, you feel a sudden crunch against your face.
Bonk.
Roll your damage. It is going to be this is a blunt, a club essentially, so it's going to be a D4 of damage.
Nice. Hey. 3.
3. All right, smack into your face. You can reduce your health by 3, as there is a sudden.
Flip, I don't have a lot of health. I'm fine.
A second later, comes sprinting in is Sanzovsky with the kettle, and she's going to
No.
boiling water at you and miss horribly.
Not the face!
Splashes against the roof all around.
My wallpaper.
Yeah, oh, your house is trashed at this stage. I'll tell you what, roll it, just by the amount of equipment that is being destroyed, roll a d4. And since I was mean to you and destroyed a bunch of your equipment,
Awful man.
Give me
This-
one of those pyramid
This
boys.
is why you live under
Awful man.
bridges.
Fuck! 4.
4.
you can reduce your credit rating by 4.
No!
I'm afraid, as
That is harsh.
It is harsh.
We are poor. We do not have much to lose. What are you
Yeah.
down to?
16.
Nice.
Ugh.
I went from 35 to 25.
Reaper
I'd
said
zero
that I'm not
sympathy.
getting my bond back, which leads me to the question: what are rental laws like?
A lot
There's
of
a good chance
people,
you're just squatting
a lot
here
of people
anyway.
will just abandon places at this stage, but we'll get into that
man.
later. There is a monster with you. We're back up at the top, and my good
fucking
friend,
move.
Give me some sweet.
Elsie, you are going to get
Ability to
roll me a d20.
Okie dokie. Thank you. Made her day.
5.
5.
5 new eyes sprout across your body.
Are they all blinded?
No,
Or are these
I
ones
guess
can
technically
see?
those
they
ones
can
aren't.
see. You're like,
Oh man.
that's
Damn
you're
it,
now able to
fuck.
see again.
Grossman is
as new
smart.
eyes
Nice
grow
try,
across
assholes.
you.
Oh man, I can't grab this chick. This body sucks.
I cut off 2 eyes and 3 more appear.
I'm like a myth. I can't grab her very easily because I'm shit at this. Is there any part of me that's like, no, she needs to go over the edge. I grab her and we run. Stop resisting. Can you roll for me, please? 30. Come on, come on, come on. Success 2, baby.
All right, she's going to attempt a dodge check.
Not today.
She's going to fail.
Yeah.
And with a great crooning scream, you grab at her, scuttling to the edge, and you toss her over the edge.
No.
Oh, we're 10 floors up!
You are 10 floors up.
And then I run.
All right. First of all, there is always a chance for miraculous survival.
Yeah.
Is there...
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to roll, I would say 10d6.
Can I just see if there's like full damage really quickly?
Please do.
Oh, you go. I'm just going to look this up because I'm just curious. I don't know where it would be.
Do you have a bunch of d6s?
3, 4, 5.
I don't have
Just
any.
roll that set twice.
Alrighty.
do it. I'll do it. You give me back. I'll
15, 16?
do it.
Did you roll the next set? Not 16?
Yeah.
Still 16?
Oof. I mean, she needs to go over and under again. Like, you need to take a lot of damage to die. You might just be knocked out.
That is 22 plus 16, so 38.
38 total damage.
Damn.
Now you went over the edge as well.
Did I?
Well, I'll tell you what.
No, man. I don't want to. If Elsie has any semblance of control here, she is resisting that like the Dickens.
I guess what we're going to do is I'm going to get you to make. I'm going to get you to make a power check here. This is genuinely what it would be, I'm afraid. You're trying to resist his impulse.
Man. Where'd my flipping dice go?
I think I had them.
I did say at the start he had some semblance of self-preservation. So based on that, I'm going to give you advantage.
Okie dokie.
But it's going to. I know your power isn't very good.
Yeah, my power is not great. Pocket them, too.
Alright.
Yeah, thank you. Advantage?
18.
You have advantage?
Yeah, that's a success.
Yeah.
All right. So you manage to stop yourself at the edge, and the body goes flying over and lands splat on the ground. And Elsie, you find yourself throwing your head back and laughing at the top of your lungs. The two of you both roll sanity check tests.
Absolute. Oh, fuck. Oh, jeez.
Is he going to leave you alone after this?
I don't know.
I passed. 53, Jackson.
That is a fail for you.
Let's spend 20 points of luck, which is tempting at this stage.
Oof.
I wouldn't
You
spend
could.
it.
Oh, don't tell me that.
So,
All right.
with a great cry, you hear Santvosky scream at the top of her lungs. The body swings over and crashes down like a rag doll with a sudden thunk onto the ground. She is dead. On a fail, I'm going to get you to take a d6 of sanity loss for this.
I'm fine.
Do I need to roll?
You're going to have to roll stuff in a
Jackson.
second. Yeah, great. Did you roll? Did you lose 6?
I roll a 6.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Not a good day to be Yosef.
Not a good day.
Not a good day to be anyone.
All right, and as you sit at the back, kind of like howling and yelling, you hear Grossman's voice kind of lower and turn into this cat-like purr, and says, "You can have her back for now, but I'll take her when I want." And you close your eyes, and suddenly you are back in your body. All of these memories hit at once, as do all of these strange features of your body
Are they-
that are still there. They are still there.
What?
No.
You need to scream at the top of your lungs. I need you to make a sanity check.
Jesus Christ, Jim. Found one of my dice. I don't know where the other one is.
Oh, it's here.
Thank you.
I'll do it.
I have 21 sanity.
And you rolled a 5.
Nice.
I think I still take some.
You are still going to
Yeah.
take a d3.
Okay.
But you think to yourself, I can work with this.
You rolled 2.
That's cool. 19 sanity. I won't worry about that. I mean, I'm indefinite or whatever. So if I trigger another bout.
Yeah. It will trigger another bout since you are indefinite. This is not going well.
And me as
So
well.
it is going to be both of you. We are out of immediate combat, so I want you to both roll a d10.
Oh, do we get intelligence first?
Yes, both of you make an intelligence check.
I have a 75. Smart as hell, and I
Oh,
regret
you
it.
passed.
All right.
Thank you.
Heck!
It's okay, I'll get it.
Losing more dice.
Flippin' foibles.
How'd that
80.
go? 80. Fail!
Fail. All right. So you are not really understanding this. You're thinking there has to be a way.
I succeeded.
We can. Oh, you succeeded. Okay. In which case, you are feeling completely terrible.
Yeah.
You
I
know
still
that
know one.
you've been changed. You've killed someone.
And I
Whether
ate
you're
some
going to ever be able to return
person's
to yourself, you don't know. But such is life. Meanwhile, you have failed. Roll me a d10.
For me?
Sorry. Yes. Sorry. I keep putting.
I failed my intelligence.
I keep trying to make you insane.
So I'm fine.
Yeah, leave the boy
me
alone.
alone.
You roll a 9.
Pick on
9.
someone your own size.
Okay. Roll me a d100.
That one.
Yep.
Thank you, please.
44.
44.
It's an excellent number.
As you kind of stare at your own hands, your own many legs, your own many eyes, you're freaking out, you're terrified, and you're going to suddenly develop a hapophobia, a fear of being touched.
Cool.
That makes sense.
Please and thank you. Hepatophobia.
What are the collection of you doing now? In the immediate time, I Elsie would be screaming, panicking.
I've run pretty much, like for the start at least. I mean, I'm still insane.
Yeah,
I've seen that. What I do is I start running down the stairs to the body to see if I can like.
Okay. So in a second you're across the room, you've crashed into the door, you knock aside all of Yosef's carefully put stuff, and you're kind of just standing there watching, and then suddenly Elsie's taking off down the stairs like a motor, reaching the bottom and getting straight over to the body on the ground. The two of you are still up there. Are you going to follow her, or are you going to stay up? What's the goal?
Is anything of mine like any of the windows or anything broken, or is it just open?
The large window, no,
broken.
The glass has been shattered for it, yeah.
I'm gonna just try and salvage my stuff that is worth anything, and then I'm gonna dip.
Yep.
Because this is a crime scene now. And it looks like someone's thrown her out a window, or she's jumped out a window, and so I'm just gonna try and... Oh, that seems like a bad idea, actually. I don't know.
Well, you're torn, you're indecisive. It's not a bad idea. There is a body on the ground here. There is a monster downstairs. This is Call of Cthulhu. Things go bad. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I'm just going to grab what I can. I'm just going to go. Elsie's place is still relatively safe. I just got to leave.
Elsie's not.
Okay.
Well, I will deal with that later.
The most expensive things you had: your camera, a couple of choice shots that you had saved up to deliver and try and sell, a backpack filling with a couple of things. You pick up this statue that your brother gave you, which is now caked with blood, and shove it into your bag. What are you doing?
I'd be following Elsie as well.
Okay. You both reach the bottom, and you come out and you find the body of Sanzowski in the ground. She has landed on a small nature strip just outside the front, and she just looks like a crumpled sort of almost like a doll just on the ground. There, she's completely dead.
First aid. I can fix this.
Make a first aid check. You get over to the body and you can see Joseph ducking down.
And as soon as he comes near, I scurry backwards and into the sort of shadows behind wherever the lights are.
Oh my gosh. Success 2.
Okay.
She's fine.
She's dead.
She's still dead.
She's hit the ground. She has completely died, unfortunately. But you can ascertain that, and you can see the injuries are pretty catastrophic. She's fallen from
Incompatible with life.
Absolutely.
Is she dead? Did I'm going to move further back into the darkness.
Yeah, you.
I'm going to blink closed as many of my eyes as I can until one by one they fade to darkness. Just perfection. Sort of choke back a sob, and then I'm going to start to move backwards and away.
All right.
Fleeing the scene, I think, and I don't want to be near anyone. I don't want to be touched. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be interacted with.
You run off, and you've vanished, and you're fading as best you can from the area. Do you give chase or say or yell anything after Elsie?
No, I let it go.
Okay. Elsie is gone, and you sort of stay there watching the vanishing shape of your friend until suddenly she's gone. You stand there for so long that maybe a minute later you don't really know what to do. You're paralyzed with indecision once more, and then a couple of seconds later you see Percy come out, sort of carrying all these bags, so kind of pragmatic, a scowl on his face as he rushes out. What do the two of you say to each other?
We can't stay here.
Do we move her?
If we do that, wouldn't we, I don't know, incriminate ourselves or something?
At least you wouldn't be tied to it. That is your apartment, that is your window. Something happened, but it doesn't have to be this.
You live in an apartment building, you know that you have neighbours, they probably heard the sounds of conflict inside. You think you might be tied pretty irrevocably at this stage.
But not to this victim.
Then to, okay, fine. Then to what?
Find out what the newspapers say tomorrow.
Okay, well, is there anything around we could, bushes? Not even that, just somewhere we could put her.
No, I think we pick her up.
We'd take her with us. And take her where?
I know several good bridges.
Okay. Okay, fine. I can't afford to move anyway. So we'll just get a blanket or something.
You grab the cloth that was around your photography equipment, the large white sheet, and you wrap her in it, and you move as quickly as you can. We won't go into the sort of details, but you move her body and you leave it by one of the bridges. And then, where are you going? Are you going back to your apartment? Are you going back to Elsie's, did you say?
I thought we should go to Elsie's, but maybe we should take this lady somewhere. You, like...
I think we stash her under one bridge,
Yeah.
and then I'm going back to my bridge.
Right, okay.
Heading home. Fair enough. All right.
I don't want to go to Elsie's because there might be those people looking for her there.
He's got a bridge.
Nowhere is safe tonight, but at least with me, you stand a better chance.
Okay, sure. Dressed warmly anyway.
All right. And after leaving her in one side of Berlin, the two of you dart across and find a place to hide. Elsie, you fade off into the shadows, and as you're running, the last thing you hear is someone lean out their window and scream and yell, "Ogre! Ogre!" at you as you sprint through the streets. The following morning, the papers will show a number of things. First of all, none of them are concerned with the death of this woman, or much at all, because something very significant happens. In the morning,
Fuck me.
driving along in his car, a man named Walter Rathnow, the Minister for Finance of Berlin, was stopped at a light when another car pulled up alongside him, riddled his body with bullets, and tossed in a grenade. An exact mirror image of the vision that you had. Walter Rathnow's death is a real event, and you can look it up and you can read about it. And it triggers, since Walter Rathnow was by all accounts a very kind and good person and was desperately trying to stop Berlin from going into complete economic collapse, this would precipitate a huge set of left-wing protests. The streets are filled with protesting communists, raising flags, and violence erupts. The death of Walter Rathnow is one of the precipitating events of the gradual decline of Germany towards the Second World War, and the sudden burst of all this violence that occurred. But Walter Rathnow's death doesn't concern the three of you. It just marks the what happens as things move on, and the city immediately forgets all the troubles that you had all been involved with. Stanislavski is a real person, as I said last time. She actually is acted by Ingrid Bergman in a fantastic movie concerning her history. She was a real person, and she is, to this day, one of, as I said last time, one of the most realistic contenders for the identity of the Romanov princess, who is the sort of conspiracy theory around whether anyone actually was, or whether she was killed, or what the state of affairs is there. But she fades away, and as for Grossman, you have utterly failed to stop him. I'm afraid that you've missed the window, and at one point he will take Elsie back over, and with her small power, she will have no choice but to bend to his will. And over the following weeks and months, you will hear, the two of you, of many other deaths. And each time you will know in your hearts that it is Grossman, and he's continuing his rampage, and you just do not know how to stop him. Elsie, David, I'm sorry, I'm afraid Elsie's dead. And she will fade and become unplayable. And she will die.
Man, I liked Elsie.
I'm very sorry. I keep killing all your favorite characters.
You're 2 for 2, baby.
And meanwhile, the two of you, over the following weeks and months, are going to lose 2d6 of sanity as a resolution for this campaign. And so will draw to an end.
Oh,
The Devil Eats Flies. Berlin.
Them flies got ass.
7.
Now we'll go back in detail and we'll talk about what's going to happen next, and talk about sort of Germany in a large scale. But first of all, let me ask you this: what do the two of you intend to do for the future? There's nothing that's going to immediately leap up to stop you. There's nothing that immediately is going to leap up to happen. What are your goals? What do your two characters do?
Am I worried about dropping below half my starting sanity? Is there anything significant about that?
You're going insane. You're taking the arc of a Cthulhu character.
I'll just become just another chattering homeless man under a bridge.
A vagrant.
I've lost the purpose of the one purpose I had of working for this newspaper, and I probably may or may not. Are these characters coming back at all, or are we?
I want to get a sense of what their intentions are. But it's very likely they will come. They'll come back in some way.
All right.
Shape, yes.
Yosef will inevitably resurface in the newspapers when he accidentally blows up a bridge with his perfectly functioning water launcher.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, man.
And what about yourself?
Well, so Elsie disappears. I never hear from her again. I decide to go to her apartment and printing press thing. Because there's still people that were like working on those pamphlets and stuff. Yeah. So I deciding to abandon my apartment, move all my equipment there to Elsie's old place, in the hopes that she'll eventually return. Obviously she doesn't, and as the months go on, myself and her crew eventually accept that she's just dead. But given what happened and given that we were unable to really do anything, I continue to do photography jobs, but I am disheartened and am not as much interested in the radical left anymore, and I just try and find something that's a bit more regular, and maybe one day I'll return to it, but for now I just need a sabbatical.
And finally,
Killed the last Tsar.
And finally, David, Elsie does survive for a time.
Yeah.
And she goes through periods of lucidity in which her actions are her own, and she continues to deform more and more. Does she take any actions? Does she do anything? Does she make any last?
Yeah. So moves? she had like her hands had turned to claws, and so she works slowly over a couple days in the depths of madness and not willing to be touched to claw out most of her eyes. Given that was the first sign of changing, and then she'll take heavy bandages and wrappings and effectively bind her many legs together in a very vain attempt to sort of return to normalcy. But each time she turns, she finds them torn open again, more damage done to her, and eventually just slinks into like probably a crippling addiction. She was already, there was a path that she was going to try not to go down, but she's kind of found that, and she found a solace in. So I think she goes in like just a spiral of drugs when awake and lucid, and then fucking murder sprees when she kicks out of it. Also in her mind hoping that by taking away her lucidity when she's taken over, it'll be gone as well, but to minimal effect.
And we'll leave things with Elsie's story there for now. And I think on that note, let's take a break for a little bit. We'll be back soon, and we'll figure out what is next.
We're back in like 10 minutes, or do you want longer?
Let's take 10.
Yeah.
Let's take 10.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us. We've gone out, we've had a solid cry, we've hugged it out, we've sorted out the details, and now we're back and we're going to be jumping in to some more Call of Cthulhu action. So,
James, please, we've had enough.
Flogging. So, for those of you who are new to Call of Cthulhu, Call of Cthulhu is an incredibly lethal game, and we've been very lucky on this stream. We've managed to survive.
Our GM's got a mean streak.
Yeah, I'm a horrible, terrible person. And
He's making me erase my old character to use this sheet. Petty is what it is.
So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to continue with Berlin the Wicked City because there are some really great, cool campaigns coming up, and we're really excited to show them to you. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do a time jump to the next campaign. The next campaign is going to take place in 1924, so 2 years after the campaign that we just played. And what's going to have happened since then? What we're going to figure out is exactly what our 2 surviving characters have been up to, and we're going to figure out who our new character is and who will be joining them, and how possibly they all know each other. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some advancements. And advancements are things that basically you give to players at the ends of sessions. And since we haven't done any of them, basically, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get you, first of all, the traditional rules for advancement is at the end of every session, you roll a check and you want to fail it, similar to how you want to fail an intelligence check. And if you fail it, you can increase your skill by 1d10. But since we've played several sessions in a row and we haven't done that, instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 10 skill points for each session that we've played to a grand total of now 4, so 40 skill points. And you can, we had the first session that you were not there for, but you can, I'll tell you what, you can benefit from it still. And we are going to, you are going to spread those 40 points as you see fit throughout all of your statistics. Now I'll say quickly, if you want to bring something that is above 50 up further, it's going to cost twice as much. And if you want to bring something above 90 further, it's going to be 3 times as much.
If I start below 50 and then go above 50?
Once you cross over, you'll have to start deducting. We're also going to be using something cool called Experience Investigators, and this is going to be something that David is going to use for his new character. So Experience Investigators are how a Call of Cthulhu investigator can be created who already has a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of understanding of what's going on. Now, to give you a little bit of a little theme, David, if you want to do something exciting, the next campaign coming up, next scenario rather, is very, very focused on show business and will feature Anita Berber, the cocaine-fueled actress who appeared in episode 1. So if you would like to...
Don't ruin my shot.
Exactly, who ruined your shot. So if you would like to...
He's going to make us a star, baby.
Exactly.
Showbiz.
That is an idea.
I'll roll my statties first.
All right.
See where I land, but
so
we'll keep that in mind.
All right. Shall we get stat rolling?
Yeah.
While you two do your advancement.
50 points into necromancy. Get my ass back.
Do we get a little slice of Cthulhu mythos?
Oh, hell yeah, you absolutely will. So what I'm going to say is I would like you to, I'm going to give you 4d6 of Cthulhu mythos.
That's very generous. Are you sure?
Yes.
I could not possibly, okay.
No backsies.
13.
13.
14.
Okay, so you've seen quite a bit now. And there is still a chance that you can get more during the downtime, so we'll talk about that.
Alright. Should I just start rolling numbies?
Yeah, let's do some rolling.
So, okay.
Do you want me to roll them in the bulks?
Preferably, but they're a little far away.
Yeah, it's fine. As long as someone else is willing to suck it up and do it for me.
I'll do it.
Okay. It's your fault if I get bad run numbers. Alright. Let me know when you're Gucci.
Yep.
Alright, 3d6 please. For my strength. So when making a character, I'm going to roll these 3 d6 and add them together.
Yep.
And that's my 5th value.
You rolled, holy shit, you rolled a 16.
Okay, so strong, powerful.
80.
You're practically strong enough to hurl someone over a balcony.
Too soon.
Wow.
Too soon.
Why are you gonna do David dirty like that, man?
Yeah, what the hell, Jim?
Too soon.
Alright. Let me know when you're Gucci. There's like...
Oh, you need some more dice rolls.
Yeah, way more of these.
Okay.
Alright, I'll do it.
Okay. I need 3d6 again, please. Dexterity.
You rolled a 7.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not Sonic again. That's 35. Yep. 3d6.
You rolled a
Disappearance.
8.
God damn it.
Not handsome, not beautiful.
That's bullshit.
But
Right.
you can
Appearance?
punch.
Int is 2d6 plus 6, yeah?
Int is 2d6
Alright,
plus 6.
2d6, please.
That's what you
You rolled a 4. Sorry.
plus
So
6.
10.
Oh,
average.
plus
It's 10.
6 is 10.
I ain't. I'm alright. Alright, con 3d6. So, yeah.
You rolled a 13.
Okay, is juicy.
55? No, 65.
65. 2d6 plus 6.
You rolled a 12.
Oh, 12
Yeah.
on 2d6?
Yeah.
No.
Did you add the 6?
Yeah, add the 6.
Oh, 12 total.
Not
Okay. That would need to pause
Learn my
there.
lesson.
Yeah.
Learn my lesson.
Alright, because that was like, oh my god.
What was that for?
That's for size.
Oh my goodness.
Because you would have been built.
Damn it! Ah, shit! Alright, education. 2d6 plus 6, please.
You rolled a 18.
Oh, there we go. You are the most educated person around.
But you
90.
can punch.
Boom! I need one more 3d6,
You're essentially
please.
Spider-Man.
This is
You're
power.
very
This is what
educated.
killed my last character.
You rolled a 6.
That is already... Nope, that's the same. Alright, 30 power again. Critically acclaimed sequel. Okay, thank you.
Luck still.
3d6, please, Rachel.
You rolled a 10.
10, 50 luck. Okay, not bad.
All right, fantastic. So you've got a couple of stats there. Now we'll go and we'll do some more details for you quickly. But while we're building a little bit of story, before we go into things in too much detail, what I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to get the two of you to roll some backstory information. Now, an interesting thing is that when we were creating Yosef, we actually didn't roll a bunch of the backstory information. So we're going to give Yosef now a chance to be fleshed out and develop some extra backstory.
Indeed.
So a little bit of fun here.
Could it, like, as well tie into the scenario we just finished?
It absolutely could. So, first of all, I'm going to get you both to roll a d10. This is your ideology and beliefs.
Me?
Yep.
Okay.
Wait, not me.
Not you. You are all.
It was fine. It was something
It could have been worse, yeah.
My D10 is 4.
Okay.
I rolled
You
on
now
pencils.
have. You've rolled a belief in fate.
Please.
Just come calling back a
A
what?
belief in fate. So you might be able to reconcile that. Perhaps you think you're the chosen one as an egomaniac.
Could you roll a d10 for me,
I
please,
am
Rachel?
a god. You rolled an 8.
Is that the same
Okay.
thing?
Politics. A conservative, a socialist, liberal. You can have a reroll on this if you
No, I got it. I'm committing.
Dear God, please be you.
Okay.
Politics.
Maybe. Sorry, go on.
Oh, next is a significant person.
My significant person is a 7.
Ah,
Okay, well that's
8 again. Sorry.
Okay.
Hey, game.
Childhood friend for yourself. And for you, a famous person.
Oh, that's good.
oh very nice.
All right.
Good.
Now the relationship with them. Can I get you to roll 2d10s for these fine folks?
2 d10s? Okay, I'll do it. One of them-
Yeah.
Basically, assign one of them for Jackson and one of them for
Jackson rolled a 6.
I'll take it.
David rolled
8.
a 1.
Okay. Jackson, you
Yeah.
seek to prove yourself to this friend.
Prove myself to my childhood.
So this doesn't have to be a child friend. It could just be a close friend. It could be Percy. You could feel that you need to you failed Percy, or you could even say you could even believe that Elsie is still out there.
I'm fine,
But you need
man.
to prove yourself.
Maybe I am.
I don't need
Maybe
you
you
to
are.
prove anything to me.
And you have rolled, David. You are indebted to them.
Hell yeah, I like that one.
You're
Alright.
dead to a famous person. Neat.
Next, meaningful locations.
Oh, what's that?
D10.
2d10, same thing.
Jackson. Fuck.
Thanks anyway.
Jackson rolled a 3. David rolled a 10.
Jackson,
one, I think.
the place you met your
No.
first love.
It
Was
would
it
be,
10?
Oh, no, it'd be a 1, because 10 would be 0, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Jackson, you've rolled the place you met your first love. David, you have rolled your seat of learning.
Oh yeah, I'm educated.
You got
so
high
that's right.
education.
With 90
Yeah.
education,
Yeah,
you've
that
spent
tracks.
half your life
Jackson.
there. It makes sense.
Your first love is the bridge, and you met them at the bridge.
Well, actually,
Lesson
there's a
Bridge.
great French movie called Les Aimants de Pont-Neuf, which is about two homeless folks who meet and live and love on a bridge.
Oh my.
There you go. Treasured possessions, 1d10.
I've probably been to Paris.
Yeah.
I was a soldier.
Jackson rolled a 3. David rolled An 8.
Yep, that's consistent.
Okay.
Sorry.
Jackson.
Yes.
A memento from your childhood.
It's my perfectly maintained mortar launcher.
From your childhood?
And
You were born again in the trenches. Everything before that was another man.
Memento from childhood.
David, you've gotten a sporting item, like a cricket bat.
Oh, good, my soccer cleats. All
Lucky
right.
cleats.
Sporting item.
And traits 1d10.
Jackson rolled a 3.
I got an 8.
David rolled.
I'll play around with the traits because I have actually played this character a
Yes.
bit already. I heard.
David
exactly.
rolled
Eight.
an 8.
Yeah.
So can I work with a 3?
Yeah, well, let's see. A dreamer.
You need to make your name like 8, but in J.
Otherwise, if the two of you would like to swap, you could take Dreamer, David, and you could take 8, which is loyal.
Let's say Uct.
Yeah, I would see loyal.
Okay.
I'm taking
See
Dreamer.
loyal,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's do that.
Maybe I am.
Now, there's some details with which you can begin to flesh out your characters. So, while you basically reconcile these things and have a think about them, Jackson, and David, while you get a sense of your character, what your job's going to be, any details, we're going to jump over to Rachel, and I'm going to ask, what's Percy doing? You've got 2 years. What projects are you taking on? What are you moving? The police are still after you. How are you going to be able to sort that out? Absolutely, you can use the Berlin book.
I'm gonna look up the next scenario so we don't fuck it up.
The end. No. So, I reckon Percy, I'm curious, was Percy in any trouble with the law post lady jumping out of his house?
Well, I'll tell you what. To deal with the law and put them to bed, you're going to need to roll something. So you can either roll a credit rating, a persuasion, a law check, a fast talk check to lie your way out of things. If you can think of anything else, but those are the 4 that I can see that you'd be able to use.
What do you say? Credit, persuade, law, fast talk.
Otherwise, I suppose a disguise check would also be valid.
Persuade is my highest. So I guess I'll just go with that.
Okay, make a persuade check.
I failed.
So, you are going to basically have a lot of trouble with the law. There's going to be a lot of questions asked. I'm basically going to say you can either have an aspect of your character is going to be that they're constantly fighting legal battles, or they have like they can't really trust police anymore. Or you can push this roll to get clear, and if you fail, you did a stint in prison.
Oh,
Go to prison.
Purse. Okay, you know what? Fuck it, because that would be funny.
I'm rolling up a prison guard.
He went to prison.
Oh, there you go.
Yay!
So you were never definitively linked to murder,
Yeah.
but you also weren't able to extricate yourself from things, and because of your ties to the communists, essentially, you were tossed in prison. And in 1924, we'll say you just got out about 2 months ago. So you did about a year and a half in prison.
Nice.
Been to prison. Okay, cool. That.
Oh.
You know what? Sure, that actually works with the skills that I took.
How did you find it in prison? Did you make any friends there? What did you do?
I mean, Percy is a fairly keeps to himself style person, so I reckon. But he's not asocial. I reckon Percy would have made a couple friends here and there, but to him this was always just like a temporary issue. He wasn't thinking long term while he was there, so I think he was just very keep his head down type. Was there anything in the way of because I know this was a long time ago and it's very different from the way prisons are now. Was there anything in the way in terms of things prisoners were able to do, work on, hobbies and that kind of thing?
I'm going to have to do some research in the Berlin book to get to, but I believe that the opportunities are pretty limited.
Yeah. Look, I imagine he would have just spent those years. Do they get books?
You would have been able to get some books.
Yeah,
yes.
just reading. I reckon he's got would there be other left-wing people?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
There's a lot. You'd be able to
then,
find
in that case,
some kindred spirits there.
Percy, after the end of the last campaign, was disheartened, tried to fight his way out of legal troubles to just go back to some kind of normal life, failed, but essentially, not literally, came back to Jesus and met up with these left-wing types and was re-radicalized and is now out and ready to
So you're out in prison as a free radical agent, just ready to ready to get into things again.
Yeah.
All right. Are you still a photographer, or would you say your profession title has changed? Do you go back to photography?
I kept the photography thing.
Okay.
Because I feel like media and capturing the truth is now my purpose.
I think that for the sake of, since the upcoming campaign is showbiz, what I'm probably going to get you to do is to have gone in, because you come out and you use the connections that you've got to get a job in like the film industry.
Yes.
As a photography assistant there and filming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting thing to go with. I quite like that. Is there anything you probably got time to do sort of one thing of significance, or research one thing, get a hold of one thing? What was a project that you worked on while you were?
Because it all comes down to what I can do. Because
you would have had a couple of months before you went, and you've had about 2 months on the other side.
Maybe in the 2 months since, because I just don't know how much I could have done while I was in prison. Percy has 100% thrown himself into cool new film technologies.
Okay.
And because I took 8 weeks of a film history course 2 years ago.
The
German expressionists.
There is some great cinema.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get the dates from Metropolis, M. I think M's much later, but Metropolis is coming soon.
Yeah, and
great stuff.
color isn't that far away, and sound has just come in, I think. So Percy's going really hard in technical side, and really excited by all the new types of cameras and editing and stuff like that. So he really now wants to focus on. He's not so much interested in the. Oh my god, they don't call them movies, do they? They call them talkies now?
I don't know what the German word is.
Yeah,
Das
Talken.
Hey, same joke.
So yeah, that's a basic picture of what your character is going to be heading towards. Over on this side of the table.
Yeah, I think I'm doing pretty well. So, for instance, fleshed out a little bit more backstory.
Great.
I think I will take the significant person was Elsie.
Okay.
And I failed her. So I have to prove myself by protecting others from the mythos.
Oh,
excellent!
If I may.
That sounds
fantastic.
She's dead, man.
I'll also lift your trivia from French history wholesale. I was a soldier. Could I have been to Paris?
Absolutely.
During the occupation?
Yes.
And I met a lovely French girl.
Okay.
Under a bridge.
Fantastic.
So a significant place is this particular bridge
Okay,
in Paris,
great.
but I'm drawn to bridges regardless.
All right, so you genuinely are quite attached to bridges. We should look at. I know that they have a lot of poetic symbology.
Right. Yeah, of course.
And we should have a look at that.
All
Some of that. So what have you done in your 2 years?
May I finish my possession?
Yes, please.
I didn't get any equipment when we rolled up. May I have a slingshot from my childhood?
Yeah.
That's my treasured memento.
That sounds great.
Yes, and that'll do me. What have I been doing in 2 years? I'm pathologically indecisive. I sleep under a different bridge every single night, lugging my perfectly maintained mortar launcher as I go. And yeah, just not staying in one place long enough to put down any roots or keep any of my connections, because people can't find me because I can't decide where to stop. And yet I am convinced that I am the defender of Berlin. I'm a watcher in the night and under the bridges. So I do patrol and I keep an eye out for more ogres.
Yeah.
And they're always one step ahead of me, but it's so close.
So you're appearing more and more crazy, but you found a kind of peace and purpose in your craziness.
Exactly right. So it's usually just kind of walking around, finding a bridge, sitting down, setting up my mortar launcher, and keeping an eye on the river and the streets.
Now, is there ever a
Nothing
point
to
where
see
it
here, officer.
blows something up?
Maybe. Is that where we're going to pick up 2 years later?
I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be such a great story beat that we'll leave it.
Yeah, but it is going to happen.
It is going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
Now, let's jump back to David for a second. Have you got any thoughts?
So you said I got an experience package?
Yes.
And so there's ones included in Berlin, the Wicked City. And so one of them is former core student, which is you were in, basically it's like fencing there. And so you start off, you have a bunch of scars and you whip the shit out of people with razor sharp swords.
That is.
So I have a high education as well. So I think he was and you have to be pretty well off as well. So he's gonna be pretty. You have to be male. He's gonna be a pretty well off bloke who went through school, got this, and then I think with the new movies, I think he serves as either. I don't think he's an actor himself,
Like a sword
but
fighting
he's a sword fighting trainer.
Yeah.
Then he trains people. He trains
That
people to do sword
is
fighting.
incredibly cool.
And also, I'm definitely carrying the sword around, and if you try to mind control me, I'm gonna fucking cut the shit out of whatever it is that does that. So I'm gonna be a fencer, basically. I don't know what occupation that is. I'm figuring that out.
Fantastic.
Maybe-
Athlete or athlete?
Yeah.
Athlete, yeah. I'll see if there's like a
Otherwise, stunt performer.
Strongman.
Like
athlete works actually. My only other one is so. I don't know if I want strength or.
You
depth,
probably like
so-
you might have been to the Olympics. You know, you could have. I don't know.
Yeah, what year
Step.
was the...
Well, there's an Olympics in 1924, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh, hang on.
This
Animal
year.
trainers in here.
So with that in mind,
Oh
we've got-
man,
you've got-
Elsie would own at the Olympics. I think someone made that joke.
Yeah, running Reaper did.
Yeah, you said you have to
So-
catch like.
With the film industry taking off, no, because there's no televisions. What am I talking about? I was gonna say, like, could I be like a newsroom, like, filmographer?
They have Do they have?
They do the
Yeah,
reels.
they
Do they have newsreels?
They do newsreels, yeah, they
Yeah.
absolutely.
I
do.
reckon Percy would be into like documentary stuff.
Because you're
Yeah.
a war photographer.
Yeah.
Sure, so you're working the documentary scene. That's
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic. Could I have the Berlin book back when you're ready?
No.
Okay, fair
I'm
enough.
just gonna take it.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fair.
So let me get a little bit of information for you while we
Are you-
jump through this.
Oh, what?
Can I
No,
borrow
no,
one of
sorry.
these? I need the
You
stats for
absolutely
it.
may. Do you want a keepers or an investigators?
I'll find weapons in the investigators, I guess.
Yes, I think so.
Will I find a slingshot in here? Do you know?
You'll find.
There'll be all sorts of interesting bits
What
and
about
pieces
just
in
like
there.
throwing a rock, but just imagine that you've put it on a sling instead
It's
of.
probably got further.
It's going to do a bit more than. Oh, did I just tear that book?
What it probably is a whole different.
Oh no, it's cut wrong.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That was terrifying.
Right, well, there is something I need to know. I'll need you both to think about as showbiz folks. And
Sorry,
that
is this me?
yeah, the trappings of showbiz are incredibly drug and alcohol fueled
Cool.
at this point.
Hell yeah.
Sorry, I mean.
Are you falling into it?
I don't know yet. I need to find my character.
Oh, I reckon he is a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
You started to just get the you've got a slight
No.
taste for it.
Not cocaine, out
Yeah.
of respect.
So we're learning.
Respect for Elsie. Okay.
But like, mostly alcohol.
Yep, you're drinking heavily.
Yeah.
And did you ever make friends again with Anita Berber?
I wasn't really a fan of her.
Okay.
Look, I think maybe now it's like,
Freaking house.
you know, I respect her work,
Mm-hmm.
but like her as a person, I don't really get.
All right. Well, we've got a lot of work that we're going to have to do now preparing these characters, but a lot of that can be done off screen. I think that we'll probably wrap up here, and we've given people a hint of what's coming next. There's a cool showbiz scenario coming up in 1924, and we'll have two of the same cast members joined by a third who's going to be diving into things. I'm going
Sweet
to
as
ask
hell.
two last questions, and that is, I would like you to tell me, Elsie, what Elsie's favorite book was.
Oh man.
It was the Book of Fairy Tales, right? You
Yeah,
said?
yeah. She had like a fairy tale. Like German.
That is inherited by one of you, given as a mark of respect. Who would like to take it? And then, secondly, Elsie, you raised cats.
No, I didn't raise freaking cats. Those were cats.
They were cats. I think one of the cats hangs around and is eventually given over to someone. So, if either of you,
Okay.
Do you want a book or do you want a cat?
You're, for lack of a better term, homeless. So I want the cat.
Insane. Also, he
well,
between
I
me,
will
but-
say,
You can have
you're,
the-
for a lack of a better term, in prison.
Oh yeah! Oh,
You can have a
being
book.
in prison.
You can have the book.
Are you
to
gonna
keep
look
your
after the
quiet.
cat?
I'm
Are you
have,
gonna
like-
feed the
I'm gonna
cat?
have, like a mean kind of street cat.
Is it
like
gonna
a,
if it
like
if
a
it
real
misses,
mangy beast
Kinda
who
categorified a cassowary.
patrols the streets with me. I
it
become
is
the,
a cassowary.
I become the Catman of Berlin.
The Catman of Berlin.
Yeah.
prowling around late at
What do
night.
you call your big mean cat?
Oh no. It's going to be something in German.
Okay.
So I'll have to look it up. But
Yeah,
it's going to be
figure out
something
what
like
it
like bombshell
Oh, God.
or like
Mortar launcher.
grenadier, whatever grenadier is in French, German.
Fine, I'll take the book.
So thank you so much for joining us. It was really great to have you here. Thank you so much to subscribing, Almighty
yeah.
Empress Caesar. We greatly appreciate
That's
it. Remember, if you have Amazon Prime or subscriptions, you can subscribe for free. So remember to do that. And please, you'll be able to check out these video on YouTube along with the rest of the series. And we'll be back next week.
Yep.
Where we'll be doing a giveaway of the Berlin, the Wicked City PDF.
What does that cover look like again?
One more time, cover looks like this. We'll get to you with more details about exactly how we'll be doing the giveaway. But thank you for joining us. We will be back next week, and we'd love to have you here with us. Thank you. A huge thanks to all of you for watching, and to all of these fine people here. To the goons, the heroes, the layabouts. Rest in peace, Elsie. There we go. Thanks very much for joining us, everybody. See you later.
Flippin' rip.
Bye.